got Surbiton leading the way, 5 points clear of Reading. East Grinstead further back still, and then a group around the middle. Hampstead and Westminster on 18, University of Nottingham on 16, Bowden on 15, and then top of the bottom 6, University of Birmingham. Today's visitors narrowly falling short of finishing in the top 6. Beeston are second from bottom, just 7 points to their name following 2 wins at the start of the season and a draw later on, but we'll look at that in a couple of seconds. This is the way the two teams got to where they are. Firstly, looking at Beeston's women, you can see 2 great matches and results at the start of the season. Beeston winning away at Wimbledon, then beating the league champions here in week 2 of the league season. But since then, it followed by 3 losses. Then Beeston's last point was here against Bowden in a 1-1 draw. Then 4 defeats in a row to round out the first part of the season. Beeston against University of Birmingham. Today is the match. Next week, they're off on the road to Clifton Robinsons. Let's have a quick look at University of Birmingham. How have they got to where they have got to? And it's a quite close games in most of the way through the season. I think it was close, as I mentioned, to finishing in the top 6, but not quite there for University of Birmingham. Next weekend, they're away down the road to Loughborough Students, so you can see just the difference in the performance of the two teams. It's been not much between them. It's been very tight for Beeston, and they've been very close in a lot of those matches. Again, just a 1-goal defeat against Surbiton probably being the highlight of their yardstick of the season. I did speak to James Sordillo before the start of the game as the teams are about to walk out. I asked him, are the team looking forward to having a strong second half to the season? And I'll quote him here. I think so. The group seem really positive and have made progress getting towards where we want to be. There's been a real determination and drive to have a positive second half of the season. There are things we needed to improve, mainly small details, and we've worked hard to make those corrections. This is a good reset for us. We've refocused on what we want to be excellent at, and you can expect to see a slightly different version of this Beeston side this half of the season. So the teams are about to make their way out. Are they waiting for a signal from us, or are they just going to go? I think they're going to go. Teams are making their way gingerly onto the field of play, led by today's match umpires, Hannah Harrison and Claire White. Beeston, it's a relatively settled side from then. Lucy Millington playing her first game of the season following a stint in Australia. Charlotte Watson back available following 2 Pro League selections before Christmas. Martha Wong and Nadia Banalo unavailable due to injury. This side, majority of this side, drew 4-4 with the University of Nottingham first team last weekend in a friendly. So that is Beeston's team you can see on the screen. We'll turn our attention now to University of Birmingham. Again, it's a pretty settled side. The majority of this team have played the majority of the games so far. I think there's Elsa Naylor is probably the only change in from the most recent lineup against Isker and University of Exeter. So that is your setup. Those are your teams, and you can see the teams are just meeting each other in the middle of the field. And again, our umpires, Hannah Harrison and Claire White, and the ball placed down on the centre spot. We're almost set and ready to go. One more look at this Beeston team in their huddle before the start of the game. Beeston have got a good record here against University of Birmingham to turn it around. University of Birmingham are looking for their second victory here at Nottingham Hockey Centre. So in the meeting so far, Beeston have won 3, University of Birmingham have won 1 and drawn 2 of those previous fixtures. One of those draws was the very first BTV fixture back on the 22nd of September 2018 when we had our commentary. I remember being in the chapel and we had our team preparing that one for us. It was a cracking draw as well. Bridget Kiddle and Caroline Hanks on target for Beeston that day. Lily Olsley and Holly Hunt. I think Lily Olsley, who scored the equaliser with a couple of minutes to go, is indelibly burned into my brain, that fixture. On that day, the first commentary was provided by Nick Irving. So if you're watching, Nick, welcome aboard and welcome everyone to the first commentary of 2024. It is University of Birmingham in the white shirts, dark skorts and white socks. Beeston in black and gold. First touch of the ball for Beeston in midfield. Captain Lauren Burrell with the band around the base of her sock indicating that she's the captain, getting her first touch as well. Beeston getting possession and just looking at the avenues further up the field on the left-hand side. Beeston playing left to right on your screen, attacking the boulevard end in this first half. And it'll be University of Birmingham playing white to left, attacking the car park end in this first half. 35 minutes each way. If you're familiar with the international hockey you might have been watching in the Olympic qualifiers, we're back to 35 minutes halves, 17 and a half minute quarters. So we are all our housekeeping is complete. Beeston, incremental progress down the left-hand side. No space down the left for things to open up. Burrell is looking to make a run into the circle. That's been taken away just on the edge of the circle by University of Birmingham. And that's the first free hit of 2024, and it's gone the way of the visitors. The space on the left-hand side for Lottie Hobson, she's been ignored for now. Good pressure this from Beeston high up the field. Can they force a mistake and win the ball high up? Good progress, and there is that turnover on the 23-metre line now. Go Beeston. Can they keep possession? They've done it very well indeed. Watson into the circle and fouls Elsa Naylor, who comes away with the free hit. Long searching ball towards halfway, picked up by University of Birmingham and knocked out off a Beeston stick for a sideline ball. Looking at potentially an aerial, but going down the ground route. First player to it, to the second ball, is a Beeston player, but giving away a free hit just outside the dotted line. Penalty corner it is. Watching the replay, obviously that not to the liking of Hannah Harrison, who was closest to it. Looking at some of the statistics for University of Birmingham, Cartrayar's probably the likeliest. You can see just to the number 7 on her back, just to the right of the circle, a couple of paces back from the edge of the circle, likeliest to receive this one. But maybe not. We'll see if there's a difference in the routine. It is a different routine. Low and then padded away. It will come back. There's a chance for a shot on the reverse, but no, it's taken away. Taken out of the circle by Beeston. They're looking to break really quickly. Can they maintain possession of the ball? No, they don't. Ayers is onto it on the right-hand side. Looking for the ball inside from University of Birmingham. Ball popping up off the stick. Beeston scramble to get the ball out of harm's way. It rolls just out of play from a UoB stick, and Beeston have an opportunity to clear. Real scramble defence. First test for the Beeston defence, and they've come through it pretty well. Both sides claiming possession of the ball. Beeston free hits. Back rolling again. Good use of the width of the pitch, but there's an interception there from Lottie Hobson. Along the sideline, kept in play just about. Has it gone out of play? I think Beeston is still playing. It's still live. Nice turn on the edge of the circle, and that is a penalty corner, first of the game for Beeston. Interested to see that lovely movement through the gears from Beeston, taking the ball to the very edge of the field, maintaining possession of the ball. Look at this, just keeping the ball on the sideline, and then a drive towards the edge of the circle. Nice turn. And I think finding a foot, possibly of Elsa Naylor. So one penalty corner apiece. Watson is going over to place the ball onto the injection spot. Grieve looks likeliest to trap it. Millington a couple of paces back. Looks like Millington who will play it low. Umpire's watching it and time is off. Looks like it's a reset, I think, but the two umpires are going for a discussion. So time is off. Not entirely sure the reason for that, but I'm sure it will become apparent very soon. It was too high. I think that's the signal from the umpire. So we are going to play out from UoB. So we are rolling again. It's an aerial ball towards halfway. It's being missed in the air, and Beeston first to that ball. Calm in defence. Grieve the ball out to the left-hand side. No challenge at the moment from UoB. So Beeston happy to maintain possession and probe forward now down the left-hand side where they had a bit of joy a couple of minutes ago. Now down through the middle and back again. Metronomic down the middle. Beeston moved down the right-hand side. Dunn takes a touch forward. Down by Millington, who plays it forward. Millington back close to it again. This time it's broken for UoB. Nice stretch from Jess Davis, keeping the ball in play for UoB. Turning quickly to keep the ball from rolling out of play. Interesting start. One penalty corner apiece. Both sides showing good quality in possession. Nice skills, clearly with a very interesting indoor season for Beeston women. And James Sodillo saying it was good fun, but you can read up on that at your leisure. Ball towards the baseline, just kept outside the circle, watching how the ball travelled towards the goal frame. Who did it take a touch off? I don't think it took a touch off Steph Tyrrell. I think it may have been a Beeston stick rather than the goalkeeper, who watched it roll out of play. Long corner. A little bit isolated, so having to go back. Shelley was there for the outlets. Now Beeston win it back again. There's Moss in possession in the middle for a few moments. Bell is in space, but she's been ignored for now. Ball popping up for Moss. Has it stolen? Pace from Alice Atkinson with number 9, or 2 Atkinsons in the UoB side. Number 9, Alice Atkinson, and 10, Hannah Atkinson. Aerial ball down the left-hand side. That one's the chase, and that's just been knocked out of play. Good running from, I think, Millington, who was the furthest player forward. As I understand it, I imagine she hasn't had a break if she's just come back from playing in Australia. Pressing again down the right-hand side from UoB. 3 players. Bell does very well to win possession back. There's a whistle blown, but play continues. Beeston being very, very good with the ball to the very edge of the field. They're making the most of the pitch. Patrick plays it inside, just popping up off Mads Nieuwen. Shelley with a restart. Diagonal ball is on, and that's been cut out. Sarah Kurgan close to that for UoB. She's continued to be forward. Calm around the outside. Do have an update for the number, actually. I gave you Alice Atkinson, number 9, a couple of moments ago. It's 14 on her back, 14. So 12 minutes now complete. No score, plenty of intrigue. Not sure if you were to use the boxing check, who's winning on points at the moment. Still very even. There's a layoff which has been picked up by Beeston, as I've earned a free hit off the back of that. Great day here for hockey. Conditions pretty good. There's not a lot of wind. And there's just a tiny bit of rain in the air, so the pitch will not need watering today. Beeston moving it left to right, just in front of the chapel here. That's taken down by Summers. Tiny bit of miscommunication in the defence, but nothing too massively wrong. Now there's a diagonal ball forward, moving it quickly towards the top of the circle. There's a ball around the corner. That was aiming for Ella Kuzak. She was second to it. Now there's a clip ball in towards the circle. I think that's a bit of danger, so we will come back for a UoB free hit. Wherever you're watching in the world, do say hello. If you're watching on YouTube or various other channels, you're more than welcome to say hello. It all boosts the engagement, makes us feel good too, to let you know as we're watching. Loose ball around the edge of the circle. Beeston scramble to get it under control at the edge of the circle, and then they can break. Little worry at the back there for Beeston, but they're going nicely forward now. Rosie Stevens. Stevens looking for a run forward. Just trickles the ball forward. Now into the circle. Ball cut back, and it comes off a UoB player for a long corner. Good drive down the right-hand side. Mason. New signings in the summer from Leicester. Played in firmly, but no touch on that one, so it'll be a restart from UoB. Lofted aerial ball, 2 Beeston players coming to it, and I think slightly getting in each other's way. UoB in possession on the left-hand side. Uisoki with the overlap, player down. Corner it looks like for UoB. The ball's just coming back into where it should be for the restart. Reminder, first break will be at 17.5 minutes time. Some space to work in on the right-hand side for UoB. Good defensive work from Stevens, getting a body in between the attacker and the ball. Ball now rolls out of play. University of Birmingham ball on the right-hand side, about level with the penalty spot. Nice skills, but also equally good defending from Beeston. We are coming back though. UoB ball, free hit. Shelley. Ayers with the ball, bouncing a couple of times, did not get a touch. You did hear it hit the backboard, but no touch at all. It'll be a Beeston restart. Beeston ball. Again, I think it will be another Beeston ball because it came off another shin from UoB. So they're going quickly. Not quite according to the script, but it's worked out. No, it hasn't. We are coming back. Ball taken by Hobson. Good running on the left-hand side by Emma Orogan. He plays the ball into the circle. That was a teasing and tempting ball, but no one could get on the end of it from a UoB perspective. I feel like the first goal isn't far away. Well, which side will score it? That is the question. Kilpatrick receiving the ball, playing it back inside. Beeston injecting a little bit more pace. And they're passing towards halfway. Nice turn, maintaining possession for the Bees. Grieve had a good look up at the field, decided against the ball forward. Now the plan is to go down the left-hand side. Not long now until the end of the first quarter. Grieve, a slightly more advanced position, plays the ball out to the right-hand side. Nice from Kilpatrick, rolls the ball back off to Grieve. And good couple of touches. It seems to be very, very important in the way that Beeston get the ball forward. Now comes the urgent ball in towards the circle. Takes a couple of touches in the UoB defence and they get the ball out of play. Yes, they do, but only at the expense of a sideline ball. Is there chance for Beeston to get the ball into the circle before the end of the quarter? We'll see very soon. There is the hammered ball in. Goalkeeper kicks it away. Good work with the boot as well to stop the ball from going out of play and behind. Beeston, can they get the ball in again? It's a very congested part of the field. Now here comes the hammered ball in, and this is over the baseline. And it will be a University of Birmingham free hit. Always good to hear so much noise and communication on the field of play. That's a great ball down the right-hand side. Good layoff as well. Where's the support coming from? Well, the support is coming from Hobson. And back stick, I think, is the call from the umpire. A nice clear signal. And that whistle signals the end of the first quarter as both teams dash off for their 2-minute quarter-time break. Instructions take on fluid. No goals, but plenty of intrigue in our first fixture on BTV of 2024. Beeston 0, University of Birmingham 0. Well, we're at quarter time. Take control of your healthcare. With Wait Less Time, you can easily compare waiting times, patient satisfaction rates and inspection reports at both NHS and private clinics in your area. Say goodbye to long wait times and hello to faster, more efficient healthcare with Wait Less Time. Available for free. So search online for Wait Less Time. Beeston University of Birmingham is our first fixture of 2 on BTV today, live from Nottingham Hockey Centre. I'm Andy Day, and sitting in the chapel, right on halfway, as University of Birmingham start us off, playing right to left as they did in the first quarter. This second half now underway. Whistle blows in favour of Beeston, and quickly they're trying to get the ball forward, but maybe slightly too quickly, and it's a good tussle for possession. Lucy Millington really working hard. That's a long corner for Beeston. Great effort high up the field. Moss rolls it back to Dunn. Dunn with a crossfield ball to Grieve. There's the angle ball towards the edge of the circle, but smartly picked up by UoB. Nice little drag back to maintain possession for the visitors as they now press towards 23-metre line, and into the circle they go. That's a really good interception from Steph Tyrrell in the Beeston goal. Just being in the right place at the right time, making a barrier to stop the ball. First save of the game. Grieve again. Looks up, decides. Maintain possession on the 23-metre line. Ball, though, off and out of play fairly cheaply for a sideline ball for the visitors. And that's brushed along and out of play for a sideline ball for Beeston. Nice idea. I don't think Beeston were fully set in defence. It is a UoB ball. I think it must have got a Beeston touch on the way through then. That was the thing that took it away from UoB. We've got a long blast on the whistle. Beeston ball. First of 2 fixtures today. So this match beginning at 4 o'clock, which we're fully focused on. But to let you know as well, if you're just joining us, it's Reading men taking on Beeston men at 6 p.m. GMT. Good skills. That's a nice forward ball. Millington, who's done extremely well so far in this game, plays the ball in towards the circle. Fashions that ball in. It was a difficult one to reach, but she managed to play it off the defender for a long corner. Katie Mason, number 29, with a restart. That wasn't in the textbook. I think Lottie Summers holding a hand up there. Possession turned over to UoB. Couple of deflections, sees it back in possession of Beeston. Burrell, the captain, gives and goes. Beeston were just about to make a move in towards the circle, but they've been pulled up, and it's a ball for the visitors. Aerial ball towards halfway, bouncing ball. Burrell under it, does very well to take it underway from Lily Soike, who was close to it for UoB. As I mentioned at the start, it's a fairly similar season in terms of results and scorelines for both teams. But University of Birmingham double the amount of points that Beeston have, with I think it's just the close finishes and 1 goal defeats that Beeston have had that have let them down. They've only been beaten by 2 or more goals once, and that was here against Clifton Robinsons. Bell rolls the ball inside. back along the left-hand side, where I think Beeston have had most of their joy in this game. Grieve now takes over. Powers the ball towards the top of the circle. There's an appeal, and nothing there. Kilpatrick quickly moving the ball forward, trying to catch the UoB defence off guard. Towards the edge of the circle, and that is a penalty corner. So second of the game for Beeston. First penalty corner of the second quarter. Now look at this speed on the restart. I think this catches UoB off guard. Into the circle they go. I think you could argue that there's two attempts there to play the ball, and one of them ended up with a penalty corner. Grieve around the edge of the circle, also there. Katie Mason, also Jane Kilpatrick, who is likeliest. Towards the right-hand side of the circle. It's low, it's hard, it's been blocked, and there's a second opportunity if there's a shooting chance there. It's really hard to get that shot away, smothered by UoB, and there's a huge appeal from Beeston, but nothing is there, and UoB will come away with the ball. Good block from UoB defence coming off the line, but Beeston, it was given back to them. They just couldn't fashion a shooting opportunity. Getting closer and closer to that first goal, but it's still difficult to determine which side will take the lead. So risky towards the back. It's really speedy play from UoB, transitioning towards the edge of the circle. And there's a blow of the whistle. I thought play was going to be stopped, but no, it is continuing on. It's suddenly gone very, very end to end. Finally coming under the spell of Mason. Played out towards the right-hand side. UoB pushing further up the field than they were doing in the first quarter. I think they'd identified that Beeston were having, to their liking, a bit too much time in possession. Aerial ball taken down very well at top stretch. A ball travelling a long way. It will be a Beeston restart. 25 minutes gone on BTV. No goals, plenty of intrigue. Some great skills on display. Plenty of endeavour. No goals yet. UoB making it very difficult for the outlet, but that's really good from Moss. Finding a way through and earning a free hit at two-thirds the way up the field for Beeston. Aerial ball towards the right-hand side of the circle, taken down. Neat turn. Pressure coming from Beeston. That's a great steal. Into the circle, go Beeston. Is there a chance here? Goalkeeper's been bypassed and somehow it's not been turned in. Unbelievable defence from University of Birmingham. Evie Wood, the goalkeeper, was out of the game for a moment and Beeston couldn't take advantage of that. Brilliant defence, scrambling defence from University of Birmingham. But Beeston just couldn't make the most of that opportunity. Flint for UoB, just in the centre of your picture now. Continues her run, ball out to the right-hand side of the circle. Umpire watching closely, signals a long corner. I think this is going to be a really tough game for the teams. Lots of end-to-end running. There'll be a lot of tired legs out there in the second half. Clip ball towards the 23-metre line, and that's been picked up. And again, another turnover. I think Ayers has done excellently to do the turnover of Beeston, but possession is fleeting for both sides. Watson to Moss. Now back to the steadying influence of Grieve, who looks up, decides right-hand side is the best way to go forward. Just making more time on the ball for Beeston, slowing things down a little bit, waiting for the right opportunity. Just looking out of the window at the chapel, there's a player glued to the right-hand touchline. And it's B. Bell who's waiting for the ball on the right-hand side. She's decided to come a little bit closer out of vision as Beeston move to the left-hand side now. And turnover possession. So a lot of build-up and then a turnover halfway up the field. And now a free hit for the visitors just inside their own half. Lottie Hobson you can see going off for UoB. Composed defence, and I think that's a penalty corner for a foul outside the circle. We'll have a look at that again in a couple of moments, but it was the push indeed. Skipping ball to the edge of the circle, and it's Lottie Summers who's the player penalised. So 2 penalty corners apiece. 29th minute. On the clock. So just looking out of the window, Hannah Atkinson is to the right of the two castles. It is Hannah Atkinson who leaves it to Ayars, whose shot is blocked. And it will be a long corner. Just opened up for Ayars. Coming off a Beeston stick. Expensive a long corner. Grieve coming under an awful lot of pressure, giving away a free hit outside the circle. Punched in towards the circle, takes a couple of touches. Shooting opportunity is just being swept up brilliantly by Charlotte Watson. Long corner for UoB. Pressure really starting to come now. Temporarily back in possession for Beeston, but UoB back with it now. Shelley looks likeliest to receive it on the left-hand side, but she's been ignored for now. Looking at the angle ball in towards the circle. Takes a couple of touches, goalkeeper Cyril puts her foot through it, but doesn't get much distance on it. Another long corner for UoB. Big spell of pressure for the visitors here. Can they turn it into a goal-scoring opportunity? Well, certainly they are hoping so. Beeston looking to ride it out. 5 minutes, or less than 5 minutes now to half-time. Shelley with the ball out to the left-hand side. Good pressure from Beeston. Defence not allowing the attacker to get anywhere near towards the baseline, and that's a good turnover, but possession again is fleeting for Beeston. Thomas for UoB. Her progress towards the circle has been blocked by a couple of Beeston defenders, and there's a foul in the middle of all of that. So with 4 minutes or so to go till half-time, it's Beeston with a free hit. Entertaining and engaging game. Again, if you're watching wherever you are in the world, do say hello. It's important to know that you're watching, and maybe, just maybe, we can say hello back to you. Beeston moving up the field a little bit more with each of the passing routines. You often see something like this in indoor, where possession is at the back and there's movement further up the field and waiting for that moment to spring forward, and this is the moment. Clearly not quite the moment. I thought this was going to be the moment that Beeston were going to go forward and launch into an attack, but just holding off. The conditions not quite right for that attack, but you can see the base of the ball forward is Grieve. She was on halfway, and that ball's rolled over the baseline for a UoB restart on the 16 metres. It was a great start to the season for Beeston. As I mentioned at the top of the show, a win away at Wimbledon, then a win here against the champions in successive weeks, and very confident start to the season. Free hit for UoB, right hand side. That's a good interception from Caris Miller. Came out of nowhere to mop that up. Miller comes into contact with her opposite number, gives away a free hit, and it will be Emma Alrogan playing towards the edge of the circle. Who did that get a touch off last? It was a UoB stick, and I think this is, I'll venture, it'll be winding down a touch towards the end of the half with 2 minutes left to play. You can still see that Amy Grussom is the furthest player forward, and she's just won the ball back high up the field. Nice skills into the circle, and Grieve mops up excellently at the back, taking the time, measured defence to stop the ball and then sweep it out of play for a sideline ball. Closer and closer all the time to half-time. Punch ball in towards the edge of the circle. Beeston again able to get a composed stick onto it. They're under an awful lot of pressure, but they've worked it very well to drive the ball off a UoB stick. Jane Kilpatrick, the player who engineered that. But at the moment, look at that pressure still coming. Lily Soki, the player furthest forward, really making a nuisance of herself. UoB looking to finish the half on a high. And that's a great steal from Beeston. And again, the turnover coming quickly back to return possession to UoB. Hobson playing the ball inside. Is there another chance in this first half? Good turn. Again, Beeston making the most of the full width of the field. UoB now with one more chance to pump the ball into the circle before the end of the half. They are into the circle. Is this a shooting opportunity being played into the body? And that should be that. Our match clock on the screen doesn't necessarily match the match clock that the players have available to them, so there'll be a couple of additional seconds, and that is the final whistle to bring the first half to a close. No goals, but lots and lots of great action as the teams disappear off under the setting sun in the distance. Beeston University Birmingham 0-0 is your half-time score. You're watching BTV. It's great to have you back. We'll be back in a couple of moments to bring you the second half. Welcome back to BTV. You can see on your screen the position as we are about to start the first half. Well, start the second half. The first half was full of action and incident, but no goals, and that's reflected in the scoreline. As the sun sets in the distance, we're focusing in again on the players. If you're just joining us, it's Beeston in the black and gold, playing in the second half from right to left against University of Birmingham in the white shirts, dark squads, playing from left to right in this second half. University of Birmingham starting the second half in possession. They ended the first half very strongly indeed. But I think it was Beeston who came closest to scoring. There was a moment when Evie Wood was out of the picture and Beeston couldn't take advantage. And now on the baseline, looking for options around the edge of the circle. Skipping ball, which had been picked up by Summers. Grieve mopping up in defence. Very well. Plays the ball forward to Millington. Again, Millington playing her first game of the season following a stint in Australia. Beeston working it around nicely, similar to how they were building and maintaining possession, this time further up the field. Now they look for the ball in towards the circle. Who's first to it? Takes a couple of touches, and I think we will have a free hit for University of Birmingham, hitting a Beeston foot in that attack. Beeston hunting around the top of the circle, trying to engineer a turnover of possession. UoB have ridden it out very well indeed. There are some other fixtures on today. Elsewhere in the Premier Division, as this second half gets further underway. I'll check back on that in a couple of seconds as UoB in possession. Again, good tussle for the ball. University of Nottingham against Bowden is in the distance, so you can see two Premier Division games for the price of one. Just looking to check that and make sure that was that match starting at 4:30, by the way, so that was just underway. Sure, they were thrilled with the music that we were playing as they were getting their match underway. Just a little bit behind Grieve, but does well to check back and keep possession with Beeston. Good disguise on the ball out to the right-hand side. One challenge, two challenge, bypass. Now there's a turn all the way around the edge of the circle. Is there a chance here for Beeston to get the ball into the circle? They have done, and that should be that. And it's the first goal of 2024, and it's Beeston who have taken the lead. Fantastic work around the edge of the circle. The goalkeeper again was bypassed, and this time no mistake, turned in from close range. Look at this, 1-2, and then that turn just to the edge of the circle. Little bit of pinball, but that ball into the circle, drawing the goalkeeper out. And who got the final touch? It could have been Ella Cusack, it could have been Katie Mason. We'll wait for official confirmation, because either one of the two players could have got that final touch. One thing is certain, it's Beeston that have the lead. We're it's looking like Ella Cusack who's going to be credited with the goal, as UoB are hunting for an equaliser very, very quickly. Just watching the replay on the back of that again on a different screen. as UoB give away a free hit almost on the baseline. Goal just been announced to the stadium here at Nottingham Hockey Centre. Good appreciation for the goal scorer. Dunn assesses the options for the restart, decides to go back and maintain possession with Beeston. It's been a successful tactic. It's not been massively adventurous in my opinion, but it's been successful maintaining possession, keeping Beeston in control of the ball. Your opponent can't score if they haven't got it. Now's the time to go forward. Nice skipping balls around the edge of the circle. Chance here for Burrell. She's skipped through a couple of challenges. Penalty corner. Burrell doing excellent work in the circle. Third penalty corner of the game for Beeston. First of the second half. We'll get a look at that again in a moment. But Burrell, watch closely as she skips between the defence around the edge of the circle. This is the ball into Burrell. Does well. Moves to the right-hand side. Checks inside. I think plays it into Hannah Atkinson, the unfortunate player. I think every right to complain, but won't be overturned. So a couple of options around the edge of the circle. You can see Grieve with 10 on her back, closest to the camera. Then another option, Lucy Mackey, new face from Trent University at the start of the season, who's played every game. Grieve goes low. It's loose in the edge of the circle, played away, looking to see if there's any other infringement in that. Penalty corner is over. Beeston still in possession, takes a couple of touches on the way through. Bit of pinball. Beeston do excellently to win possession back on the right-hand side. On the baseline, clipped in, and that's probably dangerous. No, long corner. I thought that was going to be a dangerous play in towards the circle, but no, it's a long corner for Beeston. Out towards the left-hand side. Beeston. Confidence starting to increase, but not overconfidence, and I think that's important. You're ahead. Just one goal can make a world of difference. If you score the next one, that two-goal cushion, very important. And our next goal, if it goes to UoB, we're back level pegging again. Nice ball inside with Alice Atkinson. Just tapped away from Katie Mason. So we've got an update on the goal scorer. It's Mads Newitt who's been credited with a goal. Turnover for UoB. Again, Beeston defenders coming out of nowhere to try and win possession back, and they have done so. This time a bit more energy about the move forward. Nice give and go. There's a layoff and into the circle they go again, hunting for the second goal. Goalkeeper involved again. Is there a chance here at a shot? Appeal. And that's a defensive hit out for UoB. Kilpatrick. 1-2. Decides to trick the defender and also herself, I think. Wins the free hit. Next break in play will be 52.5 minutes, 3/4 time. Beeston leading by 1-0. Mackie, under pressure, and has, I think, a little fortunately won a free hit under a lot of pressure from Lily Soki, number 63 for UoB. Just skipping up off the stick and nudged out of play. Fantastically well engineered to maintain possession from the sideline. Pressure coming from UoB, but ridden out excellently. Serene progress down the right-hand side from Beeston until that moment. Free hit. Now there's a lot more energy around Beeston. I think they can sense that there's a second goal in this. They just need the ball in the circle. They won't have this opportunity though. Free hit for UoB in defence. Attempted interception. Doesn't quite work. UoB have the ball on halfway. And Sophie Flint. Flint plays it backwards. In good use of the field. Playing it a long way into the final third. Intercepted by Beeston, and there's the captain, Brow. Playing it forward, looking to continue that possession, but it has been turned over. But end to end now. Sideline ball for Beeston. Maybe the time to slow things down a touch, but not too much. Kilpatrick does excellently, making the space to get the ball back to Grieve. Kilpatrick again, steadies. And you can hear that little bit of disappointment. Got to bring the ball under the spell. Not really allowing UoB many opportunities to try and get the ball back. As I said earlier, you don't have the ball, you can't score. So decent game management for Beeston this one, but there's still plenty of match to go. 20 minutes to play. The temperature drops a couple of degrees. Nice shape. Kilpatrick to Grieve. Bell decides to venture forward. And possession turned over on halfway. Beeston move back into a defensive formation. Pressure coming from the left-hand side, skipping ball into the circle. Kilpatrick again shielding the ball excellently. UoB getting a bit more eager with their pressing high up the field. Roll was in there looking for the aerial ball, but she wasn't the closest to it. Similarly, the aerial ball was being challenged by Coca Hall. Kilpatrick this time has the ball taken off her. Into the circle, a couple of important touches. Real struggle at the back. Heart in mouth moments in the Beeston defence. And look at how high the field UoB are pressing at the moment. Lots of distance. 2 bounces on the ball. Bounce favourably for Beeston. Look at the pressure here, and also look at Borrell in the centre of the circle. If she can be found, and gasps of despair as Charlotte Watson is penalised. I think going a little bit too strongly into the UoB defence. Seems to be a huge amount of players over there on the far side. Easy turnover for Beeston, so there's around 30 seconds or thereabouts until the end of the third quarter. Not much in the way of support, but their support is coming now. Player on the ground, loses the stick. We will be coming back. Steady restart from UoB, moments away from the end of the third quarter, waiting the whistle. Hannah Atkinson has the ball taken off her for UoB and also gets the ball played off her. And that ends the third quarter. Beeston 1, University of Birmingham 0. Mads Newitt credited with a goal in the 39th minute, the difference between the two sides. Beeston coming close, but there's still a lot in this University of Birmingham side. Plenty to play for, with 17.5 minutes left on the clock. Don't forget, this is match 1 of 2 on BTV today. We have the turn of Beeston's men versus Reading, that one starting at 6 p.m. GMT. We'll be back on BTV in a couple of moments.
Correction on the goal scorer for Beeston was put in by Mads Newitt.
And we are back and rolling for the 4th and final time in this first match of 2, Beeston versus University of Birmingham. Mads Newitt, the goal scorer, as the temperature drops a couple more degrees noticeably here at Nottingham Hockey Centre. Lights are on, the floodlights have been on the entire game. Big appeal from UoB. They've got good field position for this free hit. Diagonal ball into the final quarter of the field, and that was well watched by Karis Miller. He's come back a long way to deal with that, and Beeston will see it out. Just the one goal separating the two sides. Beeston looking for their first win since the 23rd of September. Will they see it out? University of Birmingham not been defeated since the 22nd of October, which was a home defeat by the University of Nottingham. Since then, 2 draws and 2 wins. Nice down the right-hand side. Alice Atkinson, and that ball was begging to be swept into the goal, but it was missed. Sideline ball for Beeston. Aerial, but shallow and narrow. So knocked out of play. I wonder if we'll see similar from this restart from the side. No. Keeping the ball on the ground this time are Beeston. Pressure again being ramped up by UoB, and that's led to a mistake. UoB's turn to play it around neatly until playing it onto a foot. So possession turned over. Sarah Parkinson Mills, number 9 for University of Birmingham. Good run this to the edge of the circle and beyond, and just not enough purchase on the shot. Betson Thomas. Couple of shapes and fakes before the aerial ball lofted by Grieve. And there's the turnover for Beeston. There's a lot of space on the left-hand side of the field, but it's a very congested right-hand side at the moment. There's the move to the left. That ball into the circle was blocked. And UoB give possession back again. It's with Lauren Dunn briefly. Another free hit for Beeston. Less than 14 minutes remain now. It's the first of 5 fixtures for both teams in the bottom 6 competition. Each team playing each other once. And across the face of goal, really tempting cross. Big ooh, I'm guessing you picked that up at home wherever you're watching this, because that was quite a audible ooh. There's a ball picked up in the middle of the field. Mason twists this way and that towards the edge of the circle. There's opportunity to sweep the ball away, I think. That was Izzy Shelley who's got the touch on that one to give away the long corner. Charlotte Watson decides to go backwards from the long corner. Mackie. Grieve, who's further forward than we've seen it in the last couple of minutes. Swept ball across the field, eventually comes to Beeston after a couple of deflections. Turnover again. No one can seem to hang on to the ball for a few moments. It's now with Watson again, who's run a fair way with it. There's a strong challenge come in. Beeston want the ball. And away they go. Driven crossfield. Mackie, ball forward, is mopped up illegally by the looks of things, so it will be a promising position to restart. They are going quickly. Going to go the long way around into the circle and to the baseline. Is there a chance for a cross? That's a lot of pressure coming, and it is finally taken out of play and crossed in and then backheeled into the goal by umpire Claire White. Obviously a whistle blown before then. Yeah, lovely finish. Beeston lead 1-0. Looking and hunting for a second goal. That will presumably, at this stage, make the point secure. But, anything can happen, as we've seen from time to time on BTV. Whistle has blown. It is a Beeston free hit. You can see the shadows lengthening as the pitch is now being floodlit as the sun has dipped below the horizon in the distance. Ball forward to the edge of the circle, takes a touch. Important defensive work from UoB. Prod of the ball by Lucy Millington, knocking the ball out of play, and I think she's just been struck by that. We've got a card coming. It's just checking. No, I don't think so. We have got the call for play. Didn't see a card. There was a long whistle, but no further action taken. So 10 minutes left to play. Beeston at the moment in the lead, looking for their first win since September, since before the clocks went back. UoB around the edge of the circle. There's a chance here for a cross. Watching the umpires positioning and having a good look at everything there. All is good, and Beeston get it cleared. Takes a couple of skips off the surface, and now there's a chance for a run towards halfway. Just checking back, and UoB have done well to win possession back. It's now with Sarah Parkinson-Mills, who gives possession out to the left-hand side. Again, the full width of the field is being used by both teams. 9 minutes to play for UoB to find an equaliser. Popping up off Grieve. So it will be Parkinson-Mills to go for the ball towards the edge of the circle. Driven crossfield across, but finding the outside of the goal. So it will be a Beeston 16-metre restart. Grieve taking the time to tie up shoelaces. We have clock stopped just to allow for that. It's a looks like been an outbreak of shoelace tying across the field. I suppose if you got the opportunity to, with the clock stopped, why won't you? We are rolling again. Whistle blows, and it's Beeston who has possession. Nice skip ball forward, but one that was inviting for University of Birmingham to pick up on. Straight through the middle. Who did that get a touch of last? Sarah Parkinson-Mills. Arms outstretched, looking for movement in front of her that wasn't there. Now it's time for a diagonal ball into the circle, sure of it. Takes a couple of I think a couple of players moved towards it, but I'm not sure anyone got a touch in particular. Looks like it's a long corner though, so must have got a Beeston touch. Another couple of deflections. Barrier formed in the circle. Beeston struggling and real shouts for a penalty corner. And we do have a penalty corner. That was a real big appeal on the edge of the circle. We'll get a replay on that one. Emma Olrogan with her hands in the air. It could have been two players that that may have connected with. So Beeston come to defend their third penalty corner of the game. Clock continues to tick down. Beeston ready to defend, UoB ready to attack. Top of the circle, move out towards the right hand side, doesn't get a touch and it's out of play on the full. So Beeston will successfully defend that penalty corner. Nice routine. I think it was looking for a touch around the right hand side of the goal frame, but no one in white was there to get that final connection. Again, that pressure really starting to ramp up, and so Beeston somewhat forced to go into the air, giving away a free hit on the back of that aerial. Naylor with a restart. In possession again. 5 minutes and change till the end of the game. Will UoB get another opportunity as presentable as that penalty corner opportunity a few moments ago? Sarah Kurgan. Her ball forward is intercepted. Beeston thinking about going aerial. Playing the ball inside towards Nicola Moss. And one back by Beeston. Olrogan giving away the free hit. And Beeston looking to clear now. Will they go towards goal or will they keep the ball into the corner? What's the best option? Support is there. And the ball inside looked risky, but it turned out to be an exceptional pass into the middle of the field. Now here comes the driven ball. Long corner is the outcome. Arm aloft from Nick Moss. Grieve. Whip forward by Dunn. This is the area of the field that Beeston will want to keep the ball if they can. Ideally, they'll want a second goal, but failing that, second prize is keeping the ball here in under pressure. The visitors have an opportunity to clear here. 3 minutes and change. Composed defensive work, but pressure really coming from Beeston, trying to win the ball as high as they can up the field. Kurgan thought about an aerial, but plays the ball off the sideline. That wasn't in the script for UoB. Coca Hall puts the ball down, looking for Beeston to get on with it. Beeston looking to slow things down, not give away possession. That's the #1 priority. Now here comes the long aerial ball towards halfway, taken down by Kurgan. Nudged out of play, sideline ball, UoB, 3 minutes to play. Parkinson Mills assesses the options, decides to go backwards. There's a lot of space for UoB to work in on the left-hand side. Is that the route towards goal? It is, left-hand side. There's a diagonal on. Beeston have worked it pretty well, and I think they've engineered a free hit here, and that'll wipe away a few important seconds. Two and a half minutes to go. I'll remind you that our match clock isn't necessarily equal to the match clock that the players are working towards, but it'll be close. Chance here for UoB to get into the circle. Played in, and that's great defensive work by Grieve, and I think has engineered a free hit as well. Excellent, excellent defensive work. Again, the free hit better than playing out, because this will take away a couple of important seconds off the clock. 2 minutes to go. So the players will no longer be able to see the time on the clock, because it stopped for them. And that's a fortunate bounce for Beeston. Great work from Millington. We've got a stoppage here. We're wanting a restart at precise second, precise point. A little argument or two, and forgetting or not arguing over who wants to do the restart, all takes important seconds off. Kilpatrick. We've got a long corner for Beeston, getting closer and closer all the time to the end of the game. Moss decides to play it back. There's space on the right hand side. This is good from Beeston. This is the end of the field that they want to keep the ball. This is an excellent run. Is there an end product? It strays onto a UoB stick. So this is going to be the final roll of the dice. 60 seconds to play for University of Birmingham to find an equaliser to deny Beeston a victory. There's a chance, but just a bit of miscommunication. That shovel ball forward from Watson. Just unable to find Mads Newitt, who was in prime position to turn it in for 2. Another attempted turnover. Who's first to the ball? It's UoB. Time running out for UoB. They have a sideline ball. They're going to throw everything at this. Parkinson Mills. Ball into the circle and out of play. And you can hear some cheers already, because this is probably it. As the match ball is retrieved very steadily. And look at the pressure again on the restart from UoB. It's towards halfway, taken down, and it comes off a UoB stick, so that's exactly what Beeston want. Our clock is stopped. It's now just down to the umpire's whistle. And that is that. Beeston get their first win on the board since the 23rd of September 2023. Beeston 1, University of Birmingham 0, and that goal scorer in the 39th minute, Mads Newitt. So Beeston get 3 points on the board. They move up to 10 for the season so far. Plenty of other matches in play. We'll have a look around at those final scores as they go in. But congratulations to Beeston women. A result I think that performance deserves.
The final score then is
We'll be back in a few moments' time for the second of our 2 fixtures today. Beeston's men taking on Reading. That match starting at 6 p.m.
Do please remember to stick around as we have the men's.
So what we'll do is we'll keep the stream going. So do stay tuned. We'll be back at around about 5 to 6 for the second part of our 2-part fixtures today. So congratulations to Beeston women. They move on to 10 points for the season. And that's that first win under the belt since the 23rd of September 2023. Congratulations to them. But it was a very, very enjoyable game indeed. Back soon with more BTV. Hello everyone, welcome back to BTV. There's already been one win for Beeston today. Beeston's women defeating University of Birmingham earlier today. What does the second course on our menu have in store for us? Beeston versus Reading in the men's Premier Division. I'm Andy Day, still in the chair from a little bit earlier on. Alongside me though for the first time in 2024 is Steve Musson. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you very much, Andy. Good evening.
Good evening. This is the position. We've got a lot to get through, so we'll rattle through it. This is the way the table sits. As I mentioned before, if you haven't heard, or if you didn't hear before, the table splits into two. So the teams that finished in the top six will all play each other again. The teams finishing in the bottom six will all play each other again. As you can see from the blue colour, it's Beeston and Reading in the bottom six that meet today. It's not been a great start to the season for Reading, but Beeston, they've not had a bad season overall, have they?
No, I think that's right. I think they'll be relatively pleased with the way that they've performed in some of the games, and their standards definitely moving on a bit.
Well, we'll have a look at the Beeston season so far then. This is the way that the results have panned out. And there was a bit of a mixed performance, mixed bag, but then it sort of really went downhill with four quite major defeats in a row in October and November for Beeston. Then things started to take a decent turn towards the end of the season with a 2-0 away win at Reading, and now the two teams meet again. And just a couple of words about some of those mixed results.
Well, yeah, I think that you can see from the league is very strong at the top, and results against Old Georgians and Surbiton. And Holcombe, of course, are highlights really as far as Beeston are concerned. Been tough fixtures for them.
And it's been relatively similar for Reading, but Reading have had an even worse time of it. They had a stretch of 7 losses in a row from the 14th of October, and they're still on that run.
Yes.
And there's also, similar to Beeston, they've had some quite heavy defeats as well.
Yes, yeah.
And they have had some close things. They were very close against East Grinstead in their rearranged fixture.
Yeah.
That one, and also if you look at that, it is true that Reading have had more away games than home games.
Yes, and I think these fixtures for the lower half of the Premier League sides are very, very tough indeed, and you can see how that's happened for both Reading and Beeston against the top sides.
And it's Nottinghamshire opposition for Reading next week as well against University of Nottingham. So a quick look at how the two teams have fared historically in the division. Both are quite storied. You can see multiple championships for both teams, but Reading recently coming back off a relegation just in the end of the pandemic season, and are just feeling their way back into the league. But just look at the amount of championships there that Reading have accrued.
Yeah, Reading in the past, you would put them as one of the top 2 sides in the country for a period of time, and had a fantastic run in European hockey as well. And unusually, bearing in mind their location to Bisham Abbey, they suffered quite a lot when the centralised programme kicked in, really, and it was since then they've had to deal with relegation, and it's credit to them fighting back last year and getting back into the Premier League.
I must say I've spent quite a bit of time at Reading over the years, and they've got a good setup, and I think they're due a little bit more success.
Yes.
But from a Beeston perspective, hopefully not today.
Yes.
So that is your preamble. Also, it's been a busy pre-season. Well, I say pre-season. It's been a busy indoor season for Beeston, and a relatively successful as well. Quite a few wins in the middle of that.
Yeah, I think from an indoor point of view, they had hoped to see if they could get themselves back into the Premier League. That didn't quite work out for them. Great first weekend, and not so good the second weekend with players unavailable.
Yeah, so just to recap, wins against Loughborough Students, Oxford, Exeter University, Brooklands, Repton, a draw against West Hearts, and defeats against Southgate and Canterbury as the teams are walking out onto the field of play. Your match officials today, Robert Brownbridge and Lee Barron. And as previously, your match official is Bev Deakin. So that is the setup as the teams walk out. It's a very, very settled team for Beeston, firstly. Just the one change from this reverse fixture. Max Souter coming in, replacing Connor Webb, but it's as you were in the match day 16 otherwise.
And I think this is where Stephen Wood, the coach, wanted to get to. He wanted a settled side, to try and drill it so that it would, this second part of the season for them would be quite consistent, and I think that's what he's been trying to achieve.
And as the teams glisten under the lights, we did see a flash of Reading's team lineup. They've got 4 changes from the team that met Beeston before Christmas. Out go Charlie Ellison and Nick Parks and Nick Catlin, and also Harry Grinham, I think missing his first game of the season. In coming Ben Mackey, and Harrison Smith for a first game since the 7th of October. Also coming in, Owen Lloyd, and I think a first appearance for the season for Joseph Murphy.
Yes.
So that is the way that the teams line up. Plenty of action on the Reading side.
Yeah. In contrast to the sort of stability that Beeston have got, which hopefully will be of benefit to them. Just interested to see George Fletcher playing for Reading. He's a former Beeston player, and in actual fact played the indoor for Beeston as well. So it'll be good to see how he performs for Reading.
Bit of a spy. By the way, I must say that colour blue does look excellent under the floodlights.
Yes.
So we are almost set and ready to go. So you can see that the visitors in all blue. What colour blue is that exactly?
It's
duck egg blue? Or?
Yeah, something like that. It's certainly a very light blue.
And Beeston in black and gold as usual. We were having a discussion before we came back on about visibility. I don't think there's a problem there.
No, it was just a conversation in the middle of the week about Stephen Wood was feeling on occasions that the black kit can get lost in amongst some of the signs around the pitch, and it was something he'd been thinking about. I quite like the black and gold. I think it was fantastic.
Stephen Wood with the hat on, just leaving the pitch now. One of the former player and coach of the team. So we're pretty much set to go. It looks as if it will be a little bit of a friendly interaction on halfway. Looks as if Beeston will have the ball on halfway, I imagine.
Yeah.
And Beeston playing towards the boulevard end in the first half, which is left to right on your screen. Reading playing right to left, attacking the car park end in this first half. Just doing the remainder of the housekeeping. If you've been watching the Olympic qualifiers, where it's been 4 quarters of 15, we're back to 2 halves of 35, so that's 4 quarters of 17 and a half. And we are underway. It is Reading who start us off. I was anticipating Beeston to start us.
Yes, that's right.
What do you reckon we'll see today in the game?
Well, I'm interested to see how Henry Croft performs. I mean, he's over the sort of the Christmas period, he's found his way into the EDP, the Elite Development Programme, and good for him.
Right start from Reading, but they've been penalised in the circle.
Yeah, we talked a lot about right side attacks against Beeston pre-Christmas, something that they'd struggled a little bit with, and it's something that they've worked on, how to defend against right side attacks. A lot of sides cause them problems.
Also that spell playing indoors as well for the teams. I think we'll see quite a bright start from both teams, because it'll be a pace and a tempo that they'll be more familiar with indoors, and that's quite a crunching connection.
Ali Richmond just making sure he keeps possession of the ball, despite the challenge from the Reading player. Restart for Beeston. Nice trap there. Little moments of just getting into the game.
Richmond with the ball forward again. That's an example of the pace that we've just we were talking about. Very speedy interaction between the midfielders there.
Yeah, I think Toby Stanley on the right side trying to just make a little bit of a quicker contact. Maybe the thing in the first few minutes is to make sure you keep possession, build your possession stats up from the start of the game. But obviously an eagerness to get the whole thing flowing. Reading skills on the right-hand side.
Ball drifting out for another Reading ball. Just looking at the defenders, the height that there is in the defensive unit for Reading.
Yes.
I never considered height as an important factor in hockey before, but so it might prove important. We'll see.
Yeah, so lot of intent from Beeston to get high quite quickly. We've got a forward right in the D. Obviously Jamie Rawlings with his aerial power is quite a force that can be useful to Beeston. Probably just looking to play a sort of build-up play to start with, just to get everybody involved.
It's a searching ball forward. I think that's appreciated from Croft, but a little bit probably less heat on that.
Yeah, Henry Croft trying to make a lead in front of the defender. He didn't quite get there in time, but the pass pace down the right-hand side for Beeston very good. Reading trying to make a few little connections again on the right-hand side themselves, and that's fallen to Beeston.
Very athletic attempt to keep the ball in play. Beeston make it into the final quarter of the field, and it's like a free hit, I think. We are playing very quickly, and there's another turnover very, very swiftly for Reading. I don't think we'll be able to catch our breath for the first quarter.
No. It's sometimes making that choice, whether it's a quick restart is the thing to do, or whether you just need to settle and build that pressure against your opponent's D. Beeston rushing that a little bit, really, and Reading stepping in quite nicely and taking the pressure away.
Well, we do have a moment to breathe, and watching Reading putting the pressure onto Beeston's defence, but Beeston holding it pretty well from here. Reading are looking for their first win against Beeston in 6 visits to this pitch.
Yes.
Their last Reading win was back in the February 2016, almost to the day. 6th of February 2016 was their most recent victory.
Yeah, it's been a long battle for Reading to get back into the Premier League, and obviously they found it very, very tough. The season's been tough for them, and they're in a tricky position at the moment with only the 3 points on the board. That won't stop them trying to play the very best hockey with Jason Lee as their coach. They'll be well organised.
For those people who are not familiar with Jason Lee, I think the good spell in charge of Great Britain.
Yes, he was, and Great Britain player himself. Very knowledgeable. Came from Loughborough University as well.
Bit of an awkward pass back, and there's a mistrap, but fortunately for Reading, number 11, Ben Mackey's there to mop up. But pressure coming from Beeston, looking to find the interception. Ball moving around very quickly indeed. Here's a option for an angle ball, whipped in towards the circle and then battered into the turf. Who got the final touch? It was a defensive touch, and I think Croft was looking to put that one into the back of the net from close range.
Yeah, that's exactly where Henry Croft wants the ball to be. He's
what a great run this is, and that's a very, very important touch, an intercepting defensive touch. Beeston suddenly racing through the gears, but equally Reading adept in defence.
Nice little aerial outlet there, just uses a good pass to take the pressure away. Puts Reading on the right hand side again. Beeston defend that well. So a few good step in defence works by both teams so far, just breaking down attacks.
I do think we've got a decent game.
Yeah, I agree. I think it will be. Good connection there. Lovely ball to Gareth Griffiths.
With the armband on his left arm, captain of Beeston. That's just being... Who did get a touch off? It's a long corner, I think. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
Engineered that long corner. We've got 2 balls on the pitch, so we won't pause briefly. That was a slightly underwhelming connection.
Yes.
We are
Ali Richmond using pass into the back. 4 players just to start that process of building up an attack.
I don't know how much of the game University of Birmingham versus Beeston you saw, but it's a similar approach for Beeston's women. They were happy to hold back and maintain the possession and not give that anything away, and then spring forward at the right moment.
Yes,
I think Reading are pressing slightly more aggressively.
Yes, yeah.
And so you just have to be very careful about that. But
yeah, I was just looking at Ollie Ashdown there. He's very good at reading whether he should be holding his position or whether he chases the fella on the ball, as he's doing here. Just trying to force that error and the passing mistake. But Reading have done that very well, creating a bit of space for themselves.
Well, the space to work in on the left-hand side, looking out of the window. At the moment, that option has been blocked, and furthest forward is Matt Richards. I think he's been ignored in the completely opposite direction, and that's skipped off the turf.
Yeah, another little use of the aerial, and Reading player not getting quite behind that.
Good shot of the crowd there. It's not all the crowd. There's plenty more people on the balcony and around the other side of the pitch too. But yeah, great to see the support. Conditions pretty good for hockey tonight.
Just hit a foot. Jamie Rawlins on the ball. Not seen his aerials yet, but
a lot of distance on that. A big appeal for something.
Yeah, I think Ollie Ashdown felt he was pushed as he got in front of his player, and felt he was pushed in the back and expected to get a free hit for that, but umpire didn't see it that way.
Just listening to the communication, Gregor Hearn was wanting that ball back and got it.
Yeah, nice little bit of work, just progressing the ball from a centre back to a half back on the right hand side, but the restart has gone to Reading.
Yeah, that's an aerial ball to the far post, but too close. Yeah, Rob Brownbridge, the umpire closest to it.
Yeah, bigger use of the aerial ball into the D now, just in case a forward can find some space on the baseline, and of course if he's there at the right timing, ahead of a defender, then the honour falls to the forward. And of course you have to be careful, because if the defender steps in there, it can quite easily become a penalty corner. Richmond just trying to find his way, I think trying to get through too many players in one run there. He did actually have a pass on.
It's difficult to believe we've only had 8.5 minutes. It feels like much deeper into the game. But yes, we've only had 8.5, and I think the players probably wanting a rest by now. They've been hell for leather.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of play between the Ds. There's only been the one sort of half chance that fell to Henry Croft, who didn't connect with it. No corners yet. Beeston just settling.
Oh dear.
Dear.
Bit of a miscommunication at the back, but it's been mopped up. No real difficulty, and there a fortunate deflection as well favours Beeston.
You must be careful when you're outletting, that you don't just give that ball straight to an opponent, because if you see that situation there, there's only, with playing 3 at the back, Beeston at the moment, there's only one person there. If they make a mistake, can be shot on goal.
Tom Minnell,
better.
Number 15 for Reading. Notable with a headband. He's the player furthest forward at the moment, trying to make a nuisance of himself. Beeston decided to go diagonal towards the middle of the field. Dylan Hon is the player that was searched for but not found. Yeah,
in front of his man, needed to trap it, and it's obviously that's gone back to Reading's possession. Good work from Gareth Griffiths there, just getting back to repossess the ball.
And look for the give and go, the ball coming off a Reading stick, and he's gone through the air.
Aerial.
That's was that padded or was that
stick?
Yeah,
that was his hand padding it away. Beeston, thought they got the restart then. Yeah, big looping aerial from Gareth Griffiths there towards the D. There's no Beeston forwards high.
No, but I think if you can sow the seed of doubt, even if there's no one there, you can make the goalkeeper come forward and potentially cause a mistake that you can capitalise on.
Yes. No particular domination from either side yet, really. There's been quite a lot of interplay. Reading,
there's a great aerial, and there's a
nice
great crossfield ball. That was lucky for Dan Cox, who was in prime position to capitalise on that, but good defensive work in the Beeston defensive
Jamie
ranks.
Rawlins with the reverse stick trap, just very casually, thankfully picked it up well.
More support coming back for Beeston. Ollie Ashdown, number 9. Race towards the baseline. Goalkeeper Tate the Craigie putting a big boot on it, so both keepers now involved in the game.
Yeah. Very strong position territorially for Reading at the minute, and some space.
Nice leave, and that's a great finish.
Extremely good finish from Reading. The space was there, and it was spotted, and the feed into the advancing Reading player, brilliant. Great pick up and hit, quick hit.
Great to watch on the replay as well, because you can see the ball, the angle ball in towards the top of the circle, and there was a step over. For want of a better phrase, there you go. Look, it was looking like it was going to go for the first player, but then, and then finished with a plump. Michael Chapman, I believe, number 16, who's got the final touch on that one, but we'll get confirmation in due course. Reading have the lead.
Yeah, very nicely taken. I mean, that picking that ball up as he did so accurately into his stride and then hitting quickly, bottom corner, great finish. So a bit of a wakener for Beeston now. I would expect to see them try to respond quickly by getting some possession in Reading's D.
That was a great finish, must say.
It was very good indeed. It's lovely to see shots like that. I mean, all was in stride and nice flowing movement for the player. Great finish.
So, Beeston with work to do. That 12-minute goal separating the sides as things stand.
Well, we just said there's a little bit of space there again, and this is an opportunity.
Shooting chance, and
there it is.
A second from the top of the circle. 2 goals in 2 minutes from Reading, and they are in the box seat. it opened up like the Red Sea.
Well, both of those are examples of the complete lack of marking at the back there. In both occasions, the Reading player has been completely free, unmarked, in dangerous positions. You can see him drifting into space there. He's only got to get round the one player, and then he didn't actually hit it that well, but it was well enough because he's gone in.
Ben Hooper, number 9, with a second goal for Reading, and after what was a promising and even start, Beeston definitely needing to pull their socks up, and Henry Croft is trying to do it all on his own at the moment in the circle and try to obliterate the ball with that attempt on a shot on target. But I think
yeah, this is the usual sort of response you get from Henry Croft in these situations. The anger level rises, and you'll see him playing a very feisty game for the next 5 minutes, trying to see if he can fight his way back in. But we've said this many times before, Andy. I mean, 2 goals in hockey, as long as you can keep your composure, it's not too far ahead.
No, we have seen an awful lot of goals on BTV over the course of the season, and I'll be honest, not all of them have been for Beeston.
No, that's
but
right.
we'll see what the rest of the game has got in store with 14 minutes complete.
I mean, it's interesting because we'd seen that sort of stalemate game between the Ds, and those are the first real opportunities.
Mop up and a chance in the circle, nice turn. Who can take advantage? It's Reading in defence who step up to the plate and get the ball reasonably to safety, and will definitely clear as they've been awarded a free hit.
So we were just saying, really, if you're playing with a back 3, as Beeston were, and you've got one guy in the middle trying to mark and he gets it wrong, it always leads to a shot. And on 2 occasions, really, that has worked for Reading, and they'll have their tails up here. Look, the space is there again.
Goalkeeper's been bypassed, and that's a miscontrol, I think, which has allowed Beeston to get a stick in and play the ball out on for a.
Yeah, I think you'll see this this pressure for a little while from Reading now. They'll be looking for a penalty corner if possible, or restart some dangerous positions around the D. Beeston have done well to stop that attack, but they need to create a little bit more possession higher up the pitch and keep the ball there for longer. So probably not what I don't think we expected to see 2 goals straight away, but both of them very well taken by Reading. So
yeah, and also
space here,
a chance, and that's a nice bit of control in the edge of the circle. Reading coming under trouble. Oh my word! The player on top of the goalkeeper actually went in the goal. The ball dribbled wide of the upright. That was a real opportunity.
Yeah, that was. Ali Richmond in a great position there for the slip pass, but didn't quite connect with it properly.
In a weird way, this is an exact reverse of the fixture back on the 18th of November. Beeston going to Reading and Sonning Lane and winning 2-0 there.
Yes, yeah.
So as it stands, both teams are level on away goals.
Yes. But a few times a concern I would have, we've got Jamie Rawlings there as the lone defender, and he's been caught out, certainly on one occasion. I didn't see whether it was him the time before, but just the single defender centrally in the D with 2 Reading strikers quite close around him. It makes life very difficult to keep out that shot. Just looking if they've adapted in any way. Ben Collinson has dropped in there, so I think.
Just watching the space starting to open up for Reading now. As
yeah.
I think Beeston have retreated a little bit into their shell. I think this is the adaptation that you were talking about. I think we definitely do have a more defensive flavour,
yes,
because they've been opened up too easily.
Yeah, well, they've got to sort out that back 4 defensive situation, because it's cost them, and then they've got to be patient and steadily build up their play. I always feel that, you know, if you've got a 2-0 scoreline, they've got a goal back for the side training can almost change the confidence factor. So they just need to be patient, wait for an opportunity or 2, and see if they can get a goal back. Reading, their possession and connections have been very good. There's the quarter break.
Yeah, I think we were a tiny bit early for the quarter break, and I think rather than make a decision about how that should be awarded, there's a series of collisions and feet. What we'll do is give you the position at the end of the first quarter. Beeston 0, Reading 2, Mike Chapman and Ben Hooper with the goals that separate the sides.
Yeah, Mike Chapman's goal, beautifully taken. As we said, he didn't break stride at any point, picked the ball up perfectly and hit it really early into the bottom corner. There's no chance for Taylor Craigie. Second one really wasn't hit quite so well, but certainly Ben Hooper had a lot of space on the edge of the D, was able to beat his defender and get his shot off. So bit to do for Beeston in this next quarter.
What do you say to the team at quarter time? Do you say your defence has got to sort itself out and we've also got to find goals from somewhere?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a reorganisation because they've been exposed at the back on two occasions, so they probably need the two centre-backs in there just to deal with that. It doesn't particularly stop anything going forwards. They can play just as quickly forwards through the half-backs, but they will need to get the ball into Reading's 23-yard area and 23-metre area and create some goal-scoring shots or penalty corners. But the emphasis now is to get a goal back without Reading going further ahead.
Just looking a little bit further ahead, next weekend it's a trip for Beeston to East Grinstead. That one's same time next week. I think that's a slightly trickier fixture now from this position, I think.
It's a long way, and East Grinstead away, always a tricky fixture. Many years these battles between Beeston and East Grinstead have been difficult. So, but just looking at the fixtures for Beeston, I mean, even though Nottingham University is an away fixture, it's only 50 metres across the car park, so Beeston have got 4 relatively close games in this part of the season.
So it is. So it looks as if Tom Minnell, number 15, will be the player who has the honour of starting the second quarter.
Yeah, Reading will be very pleased with that start. They've had a lot of possession, they've trapped a lot of passes and connected well, and of course they've got 2 well taken goals, so the pressure is on Beeston now to see if they can start to work their way back into this. Yeah, Reading again moving the ball around very nicely, stringing 5, 6, 7 passes at a time together. Beeston picked it there, and that's a good connection.
And that's fine, a little bit of space. Griffiths has done well to play in. I was going to say play in Ollie Ashdown,
yes,
but he seemed to be in a little bit of a mixed mind as to how to approach the ball.
Yeah, he was sort of caught wrong-footed a bit, didn't it? Oh, that's gone a long way.
Is it going to hit the roof here? No. Phew, I was expecting a bang.
Yes. So it pretty much went straight off the side, that. So decent place to restart, right-hand side, near the 23.
Look how many blue shirts.
And again, we saw this a little bit before Christmas with Beeston, making the right types of attacking moves but not connecting the passes, and so 2 little instances there that haven't worked for Beeston. Good work from Reading, and released a free player again.
Space on the left-hand side, that is the shot, and that's driven into the boards behind the goal for a long corner. So it was an important defensive touch.
It was a little bit too wide for the reverse stick shot there from the Reading player, but he could have found a foot, and that hasn't happened, so we've got the long corner restart.
That was a speculative shot, wasn't it? More like to try and win a corner off it.
Yeah, I think it's tough to get that shot away when the angle's narrowed, but it can be quite a useful cross. Or
that was well anticipated, that run.
Toby Stanley there on a little bit forced again, just gone off the end, and so this pattern of the ball going forward for Beeston but very quickly coming back into their own half because they haven't possessed it is a bit of an issue that they'll want to sort out. Reading again finding that quite straightforward to get across the halfway line. Beeston just taking their time, not completely pressing.
A couple of touches on the way through, and it looks as if it's going to be a Reading free hit, so Beeston retreat again. And that's powered in towards the edge of the circle. Another free hit from a promising position from the visitors.
Yeah, I think Beeston, they're trying to get set. A little bit of discussion going on about who should be where, but Reading very gradually building up this high-pitched possession. Beeston have got on the end of that. tough to get out of these corners. You can get pinned in there, but
they've done well to get it out from there. So a free hit, skipping across for Griffiths, who brings it under control.
Yeah, very good trap.
Next goal is massively important.
It is, and if it falls to Beeston, then there will be a game on. If it falls to Reading, it's going to be very difficult, because you start to get to that point where if you need 4 goals to win a game, it's quite tough to do. It's given straight to Reading player on that. I think it's hit a foot. And then the sideline. I think you have to give credit to Reading's defence, because Beeston have not really been able to get into their D very easily at the moment, and again, they've picked off the cross, fed towards the top of the D, and Reading stepped in and have dealt with that very nicely.
How do they get out of this? They don't, and that's been picked up very well by Richmond, who goes to ground.
Yeah, just as he tried to move that ball inside the player, it was again Reading defending well, stepped in nicely, broke down the attack.
Very good from Dan Cogs.
Yeah, good bouncy skills. Look at that. Oh, unlucky.
Minnell, who was the furthest player forward, and that's a really energetic attempt to win the ball in the circle. And the umpire is having a chat with a couple of players here. It may be a bit too much vigour in that challenge.
I think the pace, I'm just going to see who it was actually who got across at the back, but the pace of the Beeston defender getting across there caught the defender out, caught the Reading player out, and led to the foul, so restart Beeston. But again, bit of space. Reading seems to be doing very well at finding space in the Beeston D. Something that Reading haven't allowed Beeston to do. Good work there, that's good.
And then another couple of bits of turnover play. And I think a little trip at the end of the stick.
Everybody thought that was going to be blown, but the game carries on. Yeah, good hard work from Reading, just to repossess the ball all the time.
And no real need to press at the moment.
No, just working their possession stats up, so they've a lot of time on the ball, making Beeston chase.
We were talking about 4 goals earlier on. It's not unheard of. Beeston have scored 4 on this ground this season already. That was in their 4-0 win against University of Nottingham back in October.
Yeah.
So there is goals in this side, and there are goals in this side against Reading as well. But
yeah, that's right. I think they need to create the opportunities for them by... Here we go.
Taken down in the circle. Chance here, and that's... I was expecting an award of a penalty corner. I saw the umpire's arms move, but then come down again.
Well, continuing the same trend from Reading, they stepped in beautifully and defended that well. Taken the danger has been removed for the time being. So yeah, so Beeston have got to create that possession in the D, got to find a penalty corner maybe, or as Reading have done, they need to find a good pass for a shot opportunity by somebody like Henry Croft. Reading looking for the D again. Bit of
pinball. Who had the final touch? You can see the umpire's outstretched arm signalling it was a Reading stick with a final connection. I don't know what to say here, other than it's a bit of a tricky one for Beeston, and that there's a little bit aimless, and that's a tiny bit too strong.
Yeah, Henry Croft thought for a minute he could jab the ball away in his favour, but he actually knocked the player over. So Reading restart again.
Yeah, I think Henry Croft didn't realise how strong he was. I think
that's right.
You were saying you get stronger every week. And
yeah, he does. Yes, that's right. But the next step for Beeston really in this is to try to create this possession higher up the pitch. They're looking. You can see their intent to get there, but the ball's not staying there for very long. It's the right approach. They've got to get that ball high. They've got to. This is the right part of the game to really go for it. There's no point sitting back at the moment because they want to get back in the game. But We just need that possession.
That's
Here we go.
working the triangles pretty well, and that's a great ball to the circle, but the first stick to it is a Reading one, and
Yeah, Beeston have
somehow
done well
it's
there.
still live, and Beeston in possession. There's a couple of really strong challenges coming in the circle, and Reading have come away with it, and I think this one is just... that was a foot in there, I'm sure of it.
Yes, it was.
But never, no, it's just sometimes your eyes play you tricks on you. That wasn't one of those times.
But again, Reading, I have to say, that, I mean, to defend that was a dangerous opportunity or dangerous situation for them. They could have easily given a corner away, but they've done it. They've defended very well again, denied Beeston that crucial position in possession of the ball. So somebody's been drilling the Reading defence very well.
That's a nice takedown in the middle of the field, and look at the aggressive and well executed steal from Reading as well, straight to that, not giving Beeston any time in possession at all. And that's like through a stick of rock at the moment. That seems to be through the core of the team.
It's looking very difficult at the moment for Beeston to get through this defence setup. Some good tacklers in the Reading defence, and their shape's pretty good as well. They've worked very well between their off-the-ball defence work and their on-ball shape as well. So you can see now they've got plenty of space, 3 fellas at the back, but the minute that ball goes to a Beeston player, you'll see them collapse back into a stronger formation.
There's a loose ball who's first to it. Reading are first to it, and that's been a common theme.
Yep.
Any loose ball,
yes,
90% of the time, it's been a Reading stick first to it.
Yep.
Quicker off the mark.
And that's gone.
And it's quite fortunate for Beeston that skipped off the side of the baseline.
And here we go, the Reading defence working back. They've got Max Souter getting high there, and Henry Croft. So they're being forced a little bit to track back, but they've done it well.
Impressive jump over the running ball from the coaching team at Reading.
So all Reading in shape again in a half-court defence, and Beeston with all the possession just on the top of their own half. Just looking at the extent to which the Beeston forwards are moving, so that there's creating options and opportunities. That's again nicely picked up.
Mopped up in the circle. I must say that I've been watching out the window. Panesar at the bottom of the picture is in a lot of space, but
yes,
he was ignored from the rest of the team. Was he being used as a decoy there, or was he?
I think I just looking at that, I don't think they'd looked to see whether he was free, and I think they felt that they could get the ball into the D, which at the moment that's their intent, is to get the ball there as quick as possible. But again, look at the space. A lot of retreat work, and that's
a very, very important slide from Jamie Rawlings, who's I think that's the first time I've mentioned Jamie Rawlings in this game so far. That's a takedown in the circle, shot, and then absolutely battered. And where did that ball go? And please don't say it hit the car.
Good use of the aerial. Reading player in the space, so he was entitled to be able to bring the ball under control. And thankfully, Beeston defender didn't step in too early, because that would have been a penalty corner. So Beeston have dealt with that reasonably well, but they're forced to restart again from their own 23. Just trying to build this, trying to create some kind of a opportunity. That's been turned over very easily picked off, but good work from
combination there.
Gareth Griffiths just looking, seeing if he can make a connection that takes them forward. That's where it needs to be picked up, and
miscommunication, I think, because it could have done with one player going for that rather than 2.
Yeah, and I think Brandon Andrews on the ball there. The first touch saw it quite a way off his stick. That's
we will be coming back, as it's just been overturned. We thought it was a Beeston ball, but it has been overturned.
Proving difficult to find that crucial possession in the danger area. And I think that's credit to Reading's defence, really. It's Beeston trying very hard to find the spaces and to win possession.
Griffiths going direct, but not picking the ball up, and there's a Beeston stick gone flying in the middle of that, and that will leave a space for Reading to try and exploit, but that's unusual.
Yes, I think get caught in 2 minds on which pass to give, and fooled himself a little bit there, I think.
Matt Richards was the player
Yes.
that went to ground there, but well, we might laugh, but that was a very, very impressive bit of movement from Reading
Yes,
again.
it was, yes.
And
yeah.
that could have had real consequences.
Yeah, they've been quite precise in their build-up, and it's got them into the D a number of times. Beeston trying to do the same thing, but I think Reading's defence has been solid so far. A lot of space there. You can see how Reading are set again. A lot of players to get through to get to the D, let alone create any kind of a shooting opportunity.
So 31 minutes on the board, 31 minutes completed. Beeston 0, Reading 2. Goals from Michael Chapman and Ben Hooper in the space of around 60 seconds.
Yeah, and interesting there, nobody ahead of Ollie Ashdown on the right-hand side, so maybe a bit of a question mark over the leading and the work rate from the high forwards. Be a good place to get the ball against Reading because they've been defending everything centrally really well. It'd be useful to have a run at them down the right-hand flank, try and hit that baseline, see if they can pick up a penalty corner, maybe find a foot as a player heads into the D.
We have seen some hopeful balls forward, but you're right, we haven't seen much in the way of running down the right-hand side.
No, it's I think there's quite a lot of space in the attacks there, and they've only a couple of times used it. There is another ball fed forward, and
Another
the Reading
opportunity
defender in
first
front.
to it.
Yeah, and look how far forward that gets them. That's dangerous.
Taylor Craigie come a long way and wins the ball.
Yeah.
And time is off. We've got looks like a injury check.
Collision of 2 or 3 players there, including the goalkeeper.
Tom Minnell is the player who's just getting to his knee for Reading, and got a green card. By the looks of it. Who's been shown the green card? Is it Minnell who's been?
I think so. I think that's right. I think the umpire felt that Taylor Craigie was there as the goalkeeper in strong position, and he needed to back off a little bit.
So there will be an opportunity then for Beeston to take advantage of this for 2 minutes, temporary suspension for Reading down to 10. But it's the wrong end of the field for Beeston at the moment. They aren't doing much with it.
I think you've hit the nail on the head, really, Andy. Reading are making it really difficult for Beeston to penetrate the D in any way. Now, this is the area where I think they might be most successful if they can get around onto the baseline and look to win a corner.
Long corner is third prize.
Yeah.
And so Beeston are letting precious seconds tick away, I think. They need to be swift, but also sure with this restart. They don't want to waste the opportunity. Now they're trying to pull Reading around, and it's having some success. Which is a loose ball. Goalkeeper's had to come and deal with it. Chris Wyver. It's still loose in the circle, and Reading will get it away.
Tidied that up very nicely.
And they look like they're the team with a player advantage at the moment.
Yeah.
Brought down nicely. Now Beeston bring it under control. Robbie Gleeson sweeps it out to the middle of the field.
Oh, that's a poor touch. That ball's just run away off what should have been an easy connecting pass, and it's just gone back to Reading. But I think if you can't find the space in the D by hitting the ball and it being trapped in there, you've got to work it in, and that often includes a right-hand side attack, ball carrying, looking for slips and slap finishes or penalty corners. Look at that's tricky, that all controlled from Robbie Gleeson.
So he's taken it on himself, but so quickly, turnover then turnover.
Yeah, and that's when you never settle. If you don't string 5 passes together every time you repossess the ball, you're constantly backtracking.
There's a chance here for the ball in the circle and just kept in play. Of course, you don't want to just play the ball over the baseline.
Barrage Panasar protecting that very well. And he even had a chance to have a look up and keep the possession, so he's done well there to break that attack down.
It looks as if, I'm looking off into the gloom, and it looks as if we have a full complement of 11 Reading players back out there again. And only briefly, because that is the end of the first half, and it's been a very successful first half for Reading, who lead Beeston by 2 goals to 0. Michael Chapman on 12, and then about a minute later, Ben Hooper Both excellent goals for Reading, but it's been a really difficult day at the office for Beeston.
Yeah, it has. Very frustrating for them trying to find attacking options.
Anticipating strong words, I think, at half-time.
Yes.
But we will try and anticipate what those words are as we come back for half-time.
Yes.
So we'll be back in around 7 minutes or so. Don't go away too far, because we may be back sooner. But it's Beeston 0, Reading 2 on BTV at half-time. Welcome back to BTV. It's a difficult day at the office for Beeston. They're up against a Reading team which are defying their league position. Only one win all season until today, and Reading are looking good value for their 2-0 win. We were talking off air, Steve Musson, about what Beeston can do to make an impact on this Reading defence. And what was your summary of that?
Well, I think, they've got to work out straight away that there's some organisation gone into this Reading defence, and trying to fire the ball into the D is not getting any success at all, because defensively they've been really sound. I think that the best approach is to try to get down the right hand flank, attack the left half position, a little bit like the move where Ali Richmond nearly scored, and see if we can create something, either a penalty corner or a slip and slap finish from the right hand side, maybe a bit on the left hand side as well. But keeping the ball in Reading's 23 has proved difficult for Beeston, and hopefully in this half they'll spend a bit more time there. Turnovers have been too easy.
It's not unheard of as well, but we've had 0 penalty corners in the game so far.
Yes.
Which...
and again, I think, in order to create that bit of an attacking play against Reading, they've not really been troubled that much yet. Probably one of the ways is to see if they can win a penalty corner.
We were again talking off air. We feel there should have been a penalty corner.
We did, yeah.
But we'll gloss over that for now.
Here we go. This is
Early
a bit
chance.
of possession.
And that runs out of play. But more intent from Beeston. They find a way through.
Yeah, I think the Henry Croft ahead of, I think it was Gareth Griffiths that travelled across the top of the D. Little slip under his arm, but Henry missed that connection. He would have been in a bit of space. So those tight connections in the central part of the D are important for Beeston, but equally working their way in from the sides I think is going to be something they could try. Again, Reading, they don't look particularly troubled. They're good on the ball.
But I was thinking more from the challenge. Where's the pressure coming from Beeston?
Yes.
I think and momentarily there was an interception, and Reading back into possession again and looking dangerous as they got an angle ball, which fortunately stays in play off the corner and then spins out.
Yes. Yeah, a little moment there of basics missing from Bairaj Panasar. There, a pretty easy little trap and he missed it. And the next thing, there's a potential threat from a right side attack from Reading. And another one here, not good enough on the basics, and all of a sudden having to scramble, and they've turned the ball over again. I mean, these are little moments that are causing all kinds of problems.
Reading going quickly, and I think Beeston didn't allow 5 metres.
Yeah. But 2 instances there where you just trap the ball well, and all of a sudden it's a different story. You can be up the other end.
Another loose, but finally mopped up, and it's looking a little bit shaky in the Beeston defence.
Yeah, that's nice, and that's nice. Little connections and an opportunity to get forward.
And then a good reach in from George Fletcher.
Yeah, again, this
Sorry, that's Michael Chapman, actually, number
Michael
16.
Chapman, yeah. This stepping in and making the tackle, a good tackle, is a feature of Reading's organised defence.
Aerial crossfield, underneath it, no one. And that bounces out of play. That's probably the first wasteful ball forward that Reading have achieved in 38 minutes of play. And then the restart. Look at that pressure coming.
Yeah,
Beeston really not getting any opportunities, but this progress has been good down the right-hand side, as you were talking about in the preamble to the second half. This is more of like what you wanted to see.
Yeah, I think it's the way that they might create a goal-scoring opportunity, either from a corner or a slip pass, because they're not having much success in the centre of the D. Here we go, working this left-hand side a bit.
And hopeful ball into the circle.
Coming
off a bad chance here. Can this be a shooting opportunity? Croft has got his hand up in the air wanting something. Didn't get it. But that was twisting and turning and skills and everything just to get the shot away, and that opportunity didn't present itself.
No, little bobbly pass into the D, tricky for the Reading defence to deal with, nearly created a goal-scoring opportunity. But again, it's come because Beeston have moved. Oh,
that's played along the baseline, kept in. The work rate has been phenomenal.
Yeah, that's good. Just keep that ball tight.
Panasar bringing it a fair way, and then things are starting to click a little bit for Beeston.
A little bit. Where's that going?
Hopeful ball down the right-hand side.
Yes,
It's still in possession, and Reading not straight onto the ball, and this is better from Beeston. Is there a pass here into the circle? There's a shooting chance for just a fraction of a second.
And it is a
corner. And disappointment in the Reading ranks. But Ollie Ashdown, I think, rewarded for going in where it hurts.
Yep, and I think this is what we were saying, Andy. You know, this is a better line of attack from this right-hand side than it has been going into the top of the D. And there you go. Attacking down the right-hand side, all kinds of stuff can happen, and you get a penalty corner. So it's going to be more successful to build those kind of attacks than it is to just smack it into the D.
So eyes really on Rawlings. Can we see a number 3 on the back of a shirt? Not from now, not from this angle, but
no.
we'll have a look in a second.
He's in there. Yeah,
yes,
there
he definitely is. So the likeliest taker, which of course is often the disguise.
Yes, that's right.
But we'll see.
We have seen Jamie Rawlings score some super penalty corner goals, so he's the likely suspect. Henry Croft there on the other castle.
Indeed, I think we saw him on BTV scoring against Southgate.
We did
in September. But we'll see. There are 2 likely players around the edge of the circle. Reading on their defensive line. What's the delivery like? It's quick, it's sharp, it's low, and that's somehow been padded away. And
good save.
So close, and that is much better from Beeston.
Yeah, good save, and well recovered here, because when you get a save on a penalty corner, it can very quickly become a counter-attack, so you do have to be careful. Beeston ball.
Yeah, should be, I think, a free hit rather than a sideline, because there was a foot in the middle of that.
I think thinking back on the corner, the injection and the trap were not perfect. It took Jamie Rawlings a moment or a second or two to position himself for a flick. So they need more corners.
There's an appeal from Croft, and wins it. And this is a
slight change, you think?
Yeah, just pendulum slightly moving towards Beeston here, but Croft is deciding that it's a one-man job. He wants to take them all on himself. It's now Rawlings who decides to flick one to the far side. Nice pass, nice connection, and it's appreciated.
Yeah, but the Will Prentice not trapping that, because it was his ball. He was clearly in space there, and he would have had the time to bring that down.
He had the honour, and it was a difficult one to connect. Don't get me wrong. It's not bread and butter by any stretch, but yeah, he'll be disappointed with that. Reading decide to go long, and it's starting to get a bit ragged from.
You can just see that a little bit, you know, a little bit of more confidence in the attack from Beeston, and Reading just a little bit more wary than they'd been, because they'd been comfortable up to that point. Penalty corner from getting into the D from a built-up attack, and Beeston need to do more of that.
I think Stephen Wood, in many years of dealing with him, is a very calm and assured fellow, but I suspect the steam has just about started to stop coming out of his ears at
Yes, I
time.
think he does that have in his locker. He's got a fiery temper when he wants to.
I think he would have been within his rights to express that. There's a bouncing ball in the circle that's just been missed, and there's a chance here. Croft decides to go big, and that's another fantastic stop from Chris Wyver in the Reading goal.
I mean, that had the beans behind it as far as Henry Croft was concerned, and he hit it on target. But again, it's a play that's coming from the right-hand side, and that's not very good. Oh, he's kept it in. Just noticed Balraj Panesar mistrapping quite a lot of quite easy passes.
There's a good run chance here, and Reading have been opened up. And somehow it's gone back in play with Reading.
Yeah, Beeston not very happy about that, but
there's not a wonderful aerial ball, and Beeston, we're going back. Are we going back for that previous offence? No, we're going back to here.
This is better. Again, coming in on this right-hand side, just creating more options for Beeston.
Beeston are going very direct. It's like they've borrowed the hamster wheels from Lee Valley, and they're trying to just barrel the way through everyone.
But much more success on this side than they were having.
Card coming, I think.
Going to get carded.
That's green card gone, but who's disappearing? It's the captain who's gone for 2 minutes.
Didn't quite see what happened there, but So that's not helpful because there's just a bit of momentum building for Beeston there, and last thing you want is lose one of your players for 2 minutes.
Yes, I did say a couple of minutes ago things are starting to get a bit ragged for Reading, and that's still the case. There's a few missed traps coming in that weren't there in the first half.
Yeah, I think that's, you have to exert your pressure in different phases of the game, really, and that's what Beeston's way back in, is to create that bit of uncertainty. But
it's a big whistle, and that's gone the way of Beeston. All eyes on the umpire, because sometimes that whistle goes against you. But yes, it's a defensive hit.
Yeah, that was well defended, really, because that, I thought for a minute that had been put onto a Beeston foot, but they did well to keep that. I think it's interesting, isn't it, when teams go down to 10 players, there's a tendency to think, we've all got to defend and everything else, but I tend to think you can, there's no reason numbers-wise why you can't still keep your attacking game going, particularly when I know you don't want to give another goal away, but you're still trying to get back into it, and the momentum that Beeston had created, you don't want to lose that.
And sometimes there's a defender who doesn't have a job to do, and that creates confusion. So who am I marking?
So if if you're prepared and comfortable to defend with a 3, you've still got your 3 midfielders, you've still got 3 forwards, and you can work that around a bit.
Tiny bit casual.
Yeah, this is the little bit that worries me, because that carry there was just not strong enough. That ball's been turned over, and Reading get the opportunity to have possession back when you want it most. Oh, bit of a push there, so Robbie Gleeson just getting pushed over, so you start.
We've had an indication that we are back up to full strength on the Beeston side, so that suspension is over for Gareth Greco, so it's 11 versus 11. Noticed with the intent that he raced back into the action, and you can see that ball is aimed towards him in the circle. Can he control it and bring it under his spell just back outside the circle?
He has, and the umpire's not blown it, so I'm just wondering quite why he's not taken that a stage further.
It's someone's pressed the chaos button on the control of the game at the moment, and it's haywire. It really has gone a bit manic.
It's definitely there's more competition from Beeston than there was in the first half, but they just need to get, ideally in this quarter, something out of it.
Next goal, I did say, was very important, and it's increasingly so. That third goal of the game, either it's a momentum changer or it puts the tin hat on it and the points are going back to Sonny Lane.
Good trap by Reading forward, getting in front of the defender, keeping the ball for his team. Nice transfer. Step in right, here we go. This is where Beeston need to get out of these tight areas. I mean, obviously Reading flooding players into that area, making it very, very difficult for Beeston to progress down the right-hand side there, Beeston's right-hand side. Can't fault Reading's work rate. They've one of the impressive features of their setup is the way they've retreated into defence quickly.
It's opened up, but again, the first player to that is in blue. Panesar does well to pick it up, and he's just been nutmegged. Just
little traps. There's a bit of a feature of his game, really. He's too many turnovers. That's going to be a Reading restart again. I think if there were stats on the number of restarts, I think you'd find that Reading are quite significantly ahead of Beeston in that particular part of the game. That's just gone off the back.
Ripple of applause there. I think it's appreciated by. There's a little bit of Reading travelling support here today as well.
Yeah.
As well as the coaching team appreciating.
See, from Reading's point of view, they'll be sort of thinking whether 2 goals is worth protecting or whether they need to get the 3rd goal, and it does tend to make you sink back a bit into a deeper defensive setup than you had.
That's nice. That created a tiny bit of space to allow the move to continue. And then there's an appeal, and look at that. That's real hustle and harry, and Reading not allowing that restart to take. This is a very promising position for the restart, and it needs to go out before it comes back in again.
There we go. Actually not allowed to go straight into the D from that restart.
This is where they need end product.
This is the dangerous part. Oh, that was too easily taken away. Again, a big feature of Reading. Their tackling is excellent. And I think the Beeston players feeling that not a lot is going their way, but that is often what happens when you face a side that's basics are strong.
Well, we saw earlier in the first of our two games today that Beeston's core strengths were good, and that saw them through the game.
Space here, this is dangerous.
What did we find? And that's a play-on opportunity, and that's somehow a cross that's gone out of play.
Yes, and you would ask the question of Reading there, why wasn't somebody on that back post? Because that would have been an easy finish.
That is the closest we've come to a goal in the second half for Reading.
And I think that would have been extremely difficult to come back from. I mean, it still is at the 2-0, but there we go. Off down the lots of space here.
One player bypassed, and there's a slip, but it's been fortunate. And this
in the
is
deep.
a chance.
Need a corner.
Has it been kept in? Yes, it has. Umpire watching on. Trapped into the corner.
Won that back, I think.
Long corner is the outcome. So a little bit of pressure to build. Don't waste the opportunity.
Good skills there from Will Prentice, but he's just let that go. Beeston retain possession.
That is something you've not said all the game.
What was that?
Beeston retain possession.
Yes, that's right. I think it has been a little bit of a feature. I'm sure that Stephen Wood will be looking at that, and in not a particularly happy way, really.
Working it down the right-hand side better. Now, where's the second phase? Where's the next movement? Long corner.
The long corner. It's all right. To use that right-hand side is very useful, but you need to do that when the play is open. Restarts into there can end up being trapped in a corner, as we've seen a couple of times. But this is better, just as an angle.
Tends to get bogged down.
Yeah, you can get bogged down, and you really need to use that right-hand side as an attacking zone when you're in flow and there is space. To do it from set pieces and keep putting it in there, you can often find yourself just trapped, and it can be very difficult to actually create many opportunities from there.
Around 60 seconds until the three-quarter time break. Is there a chance for Beeston to put pressure onto this Beeston goal before the end of the period? Well, they'll have a sideline ball from about as far away as you can from the goal line. That's that they want to be at.
That seems a long way from anywhere, doesn't it, when you have to restart from there? But no pressure from Reading. They've dropped off. I think they're happy to get through to three-quarter time with a 2-0 lead.
Just looking at the field position.
There's another missed trap. Sorry, Andy, I was interrupting.
No, but it's a good point that you made there. There is a missed trap. I was looking to see if there was an aerial on, and I think there is.
Yes.
But first player to that ball along the floor is a Reading player.
Yeah, I think the Beeston players individually will be a bit frustrated with their own basics on the ball. They've been a bit off the pace, really, and a little tackle there from Dylan Holm, and that's
three-quarter time.
Yeah.
Very sharply up with a graphic to remind us of the position. It's Beeston 0, Reading 2. No change in the score. Michael Chapman and Ben Hooper in the first quarter difference. Beeston have got 17 and a half minutes to find a way back into this. We do have some scores to bring you from earlier on, if we can magic them up from somewhere. No, we don't. We don't have the ability to do that just yet. But let's see if I can bring them up.
Yeah, so it is a tricky little phase this now for Beeston, because there is the opportunity for Reading to, if they want to sit on this, they can. Defensively, they've been strong, and they've not been overly concerned about Beeston attacks until that last quarter, where there were a few of Beeston's right-hand side moves getting through. Only the one penalty corner, though. So, again, upgrades of possession from Beeston is vital in this next, at the start of this next quarter. And if they're going to get back into it, I think they need to score in the first 5 or 10 minutes.
Result from earlier in the day, Oxford 2, University of Nottingham 2. So context for the match, Oxford go 1 point further up the table, so a win for Beeston today would mean that they would leapfrog Oxford.
Yes.
That's still possible, but
Yeah,
it's
it
a
is.
heck of a job
It's
to
a
do.
bit of a job, yes, that's right.
And also for University of Nottingham, that's their first point on the board this season. 11 games, 11 defeats until today. Looking at the women's competitions and trying to do about several things at once. In the top 6, University of Nottingham 2, Bowden 1, and Reading 1, East Grinstead 4. So those are the results that we have as we turn our attention back again to the match in front of us. It's Beeston versus Reading. Is there a way in to this game for Beeston? They've shown a little bit of promise. What does the final quarter have in store for us?
Well, it's either going to be a hell of a comeback, and or Reading will see this out quite comfortably, but that's the position that Beeston need to be attacking, in my opinion, but they need an outcome.
Long corner, so bright start. And there's also movement on the left-hand side of the field. I'm looking over and seeing Owen Sutton making a move, and that's a good trap in a circle. Turned in, loose ball, is it?
It's missed
Chance there, and again it's gone slightly ragged from Reading, and Beeston has suddenly pulled some pressure out of somewhere, and the ball sticking for them. Can they turn this into a chance? And not just yet, but they've been turned over.
Yeah, Toby Stanley there just getting himself caught over dribbling with the ball there, and Reading worked that out. I think if you were in Reading's camp, you'd be saying we don't really want to sit too deep because that's bringing Beeston onto us, but they have got this 2-goal lead, so they could, in theory, if they keep their defence strong, just see the game away. There's a lot of emphasis on Beeston now going to get that ball into danger areas, and Reading quite clearly dropping into what you'd call a half-court defensive position, everybody virtually in their own half.
Reading don't need to. Oh, whoa! We've got a stoppage, and also looking to see the card coming out, and that is a yellow card that has been shown. So we were talking, or I was suggesting earlier on, that Reading have to do something stupid to let Beeston back in, and this isn't ideal. We are watching a replay, by the way. This is the incident for the yellow card, and just looking in, and it's not quite innocuous, but it's only a couple of notches above innocuous.
Yes, that's right. Robbie Gleeson turning very quickly, and the Reading player just stepping through, and a strong contact on him.
And
Yes.
did we get confirmation if it's a 5 or I think it should be a 5?
I think so, yeah.
Well,
now is the time, really. I would imagine that will force Reading to keep clearing their lines and to sit probably fairly deep defensively, because at the moment they're in the strong position. They have got a high player, which is interesting, just in case that gets missed, and gives them the opportunity for that 3rd goal.
That's an interesting use of the foot, and that's brilliant skill to
Harry
continue
Richmond
the run.
And he's still found some space. Now what's going to happen there?
We've got a long corner, and also we've got another card being shown.
Yeah, that's right.
A green by the looks of it. We're getting a confirmation it is a green, so who's disappearing off the field of play? It's 2 Reading players now taking a seat, so we'll get confirmation of those numbers in due course. So Beeston currently playing 9.
And I would make the point, if you know that the opposition's gone down to 9, why do you run the ball onto a flat stick? Because look at this.
Unbelievable stuff. Absolutely unbelievable. Beeston inviting pressure upon themselves, and
I didn't see who did that on the right-hand side, but that's sacrilegious, really, because you've got 9 players to play against, and you just give the ball away so easily when you want to be attacking the D.
We understand that Ben Hooper, the 2nd goal scorer, was shown one of those 2 cards. We assume it's the green one, but again, we'll get any confirmation we can. But what, again, indisputably, Beeston are 2 players to the good here. So what will this do? This will tire the Reading players out as well that are still out there. So this could have a longer term effect rather than the 5 and 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, so sometimes you can find that they'll just sit in a defensive pattern. There'll be no pressure coming out at all, as you can see. All players back. Beeston got plenty of time. A little bit of pressure from Reading. It's nice to see that they've got that approach to the game. They're not just leaving it for Beeston to set stuff up. But when you've got 2 players missing, it's quite tricky. And again,
miscontrol on the far side.
Well, you have to say, don't you, that those are crucial moments. I mean, a bit of possession there in that position's a good one for Beeston, but a missed trap and just letting it go to Reading, and that's what they'll do. They'll make you fetch it again.
Good step in.
They've won the ball as well, almost. That's very nearly a turnover and attack to Reading.
I think I mentioned something like this earlier on. You need to be swift but also sure when you move, so you don't be going too quickly.
Yes.
But I would seriously question the speed of getting that ball.
Yeah.
When your opponents are down to 9, you need to make every second count. And again, invoking the name of Paul Daniels.
Yeah. Looking from the corner then, and it didn't quite come off. I mean, Beeston do need to create a set piece. Would be helpful.
No longer 9, back to 10, into the circle. A shooting chance on the reverse, which flashes high, wide, and not particularly handsome.
Yeah, a bit hopeful that really. It's you know, the prospect of scoring from there is fairly remote. So you've probably been better passing it to a back post or trying to find another Beeston connection. And there you go, just Reading, just throw it away. And oh, that's a bit harsh on Reading.
Don't worry, Reading will get the ball back almost immediately.
And they've done it well again. Big feature of them today.
Decent control. And finding, there's a little bit of a physicality entering the game. Jamie Rawlings, just in front of the camera, probably wouldn't be too thrilled that was picked up. So this is a diagonal aerial ball. That has been taken well by Panasol. What's the next?
Controlled.
What's the next move? Towards the baseline, trying to engineer a penalty corner, but third prize is.
Yeah, it's just going to be a long corner, another long corner. Beeston have had a series of long corners and haven't been able to upgrade to a penalty corner. And this is a good position here. A missed trap again. Just slowing down the progress.
Long corner again. By the way, 1 penalty corner in the game so far.
Yeah.
And we have a full set of 11 Reading players back on the field. So all of the suspensions are now over. In towards the top of the circle. Low and hard, yeah, and I must say that's a good intervention from Wyver again, who's had a decent game.
He has, yeah. He's only been called into action a few times, but each time he's been well set and ready. That was a nice foot save.
Reading had an opportunity for that ball a little bit earlier, and that probably should be that. It is. It's been turned in. Yeah. Ben Hooper, who's just completed his suspension, adds a second to his tally for the day.
Well, I mean, looking at 58 minutes on the clock, that's probably the match-winning goal, I would say. But again, nicely fed, nicely passed around.
Look at lingering and just a simple control finish from Reading's number 9. Don't overpower it. And I think we've seen too much oomph on the efforts from Beeston.
Yes, I agree. I just don't need to have a look at that again in a bit, but I think that was a play from in front of the goal back to a Reading player so he could put it in, which is extremely clever thinking. I think that might have been George Fletcher that did that.
And Reading again moving forward now. Beeston in possession. They've got 3 goals to find if they want to get anything at all out of this game, and they've only got 10 minutes to do it. Into the circle. There's a turn, there's a shot, and there's another great stop from Wyver.
He's been very well positioned for these shots today.
He's coming again and then kicks the ball to safety. Just checking, there's a player down off the field. We're not showing you that. I think there might be an injury that we don't want to show you, but what we can do is look out of the window.
Yes.
And try and describe what we can
No,
see.
he is up.
He's up and he's
yeah.
okay, as far as we can tell.
Yeah, good powerful shot from Henry Croft. He's had 2 in the last 2 or 3 minutes, both on target. And Chris Weaver has just been absolutely in line and positioned well and made the saves look quite easy.
So a result of that is a Beeston ball, which has gone back a long way. 11 versus 11, by the way. If you've stepped out for a couple of minutes and you missed the cards, we are back to 11 versus 11. There's a couple of Reading players that have gone into the book. Nice around the corner work, but 2 blue shirts getting to a bit of a tussle.
Yes.
And
oh well, Beeston have got that. I thought that might have gone the other way, but oh, look, this is.
It's still live. It's into the air, and somehow.
Yeah, there's a penalty corner. Yeah.
So, you can see number 3 on his back, Jamie Rawlings, making his way to the top of the circle. Talk us through this offence.
Yeah, it was, I mean, again, we've got this play on the left-hand side, restart there, just keeping it away from this 5-metre run away, and then getting into the D and just dropping it onto a foot. A little bit of what they call 3D skills, lifting the ball off the surface and then bouncing it onto a foot.
Well, we were talking about trying to engineer a situation. This is the shooting opportunity that they've been hoping for.
Yeah.
And also the good test again for Wyver. You say about, I think, 3 or 4 times he's been called upon, and
yes,
3 times he's had to do the right thing. And he hasn't really massively extended himself, but he's just done the necessary, and it's been impressively done.
Good positional play. Here we go.
Quick delivery. Rawlings low, hard, takes a touch, repeat, penalty corner.
Yeah. A lot of discussion there, but
I don't think we're going to have a long corner. It's an
yeah.
overturned. It's been overturned, so I will change my stats. Just the 1 penalty corner then in this 4th quarter. So Beeston have got 8 minutes to try and find 3 goals to get anything at all out of this game. Into the circle, there's a shot, and that one is looping and hitting the netting behind. Long corner
another
again.
Long corner. I've lost count of the number of long corners Beeston have had.
I don't think we've ever counted them, to be honest. I was impressed that you did that. So at the moment, it's a bad day at the office. It's looking
difficult.
like Reading doubling their points tally for the season.
Yeah, well, it's been a quality performance from them, really. But specifically in defence, I think they've worked well on their organisation, and they've made life really difficult for Beeston to get into the D in the first place. And when they have, their tackling's been excellent. So that's probably the key to their win. And when they've had the opportunities for the goals, they've taken them very well. 3 pretty good goals from Reading.
It's also one for the textbook of how to press your, if you're defending, how to press your attacking team out of the way.
Yes, yeah, I think that's been really good. It's a strong feature. I mean, if they play like this in their other fixtures, I can see them making life difficult for other teams as well.
Just a reminder, next weekend it's more Nottinghamshire opposition for Reading. UoN travel down to Reading next weekend. That's the 17th at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Well, Reading obviously have a plan. I mean, if they can keep getting wins through all of these fixtures, a home game against the University of Nottingham next week, they'll be hopeful and start to just climb that table a bit. At least they need to be careful that they settle into some post-Christmas patterns, because they won't want to be dropping into the bottom 4.
No, that's the thing. So the top 6 are already qualified for the final round of the tournament. The top 2 teams of the bottom 6, so 7th and 8th place, also qualify for the final tournament.
Yep.
The bottom 4 go into a relegation shootout,
They do.
effectively, and that's where you do not want to be. You
No.
don't want to. If you've got enough points on the board, you're pretty insulated. There's a chance, and that was just wide, and that's the closest that Beeston have come for a little while.
Yeah, Will Prentice there with an awkward type of a shot. Reverse stick, ball in the air. Got it past the keeper, but I suspect, just looking at where Chris Weaver was there, he was in a good position to cover most of the goal, so it's going to be a good finish if Will Prentice was going to put that in. Yeah, so as you're saying, Andy, those playing in the bottom 4 is not a pleasant place to be.
No, and also because you're playing teams of, in theory, a similar standing, the games, the matches are much more even
Yes.
And so it could be true that Reading, there are 15 points on the cards if you win all of your 5 games in the bottom 6. So it could be that Reading will finish on 18 points.
Yeah.
And we could be well away from trouble at the bottom.
Yeah. Which is quite clearly their plan, because their performance has been good today.
Four and a bit minutes to go. Clip ball towards the top of the circle. First player to it is a Reading player. Panesar with a chance to assess the options and maybe play a diagonal ball forward. Now it goes to the top of the circle. Griffiths nudges it forward. First player to it again, Reading.
The cover, excellent. And the nice little escape. Oh.
Reading get the opportunity. Reading don't get the opportunity. It'll be Beeston's ball. 4 minutes to go.
I'm just looking at the way that, can't see it's off camera at the minute, but Reading organising themselves defensively have been a feature of the game right the way through, and has been a real strength.
I wouldn't bet against the 4th, because look at the way that
Space.
Reading streaking forward, and I think that was intended
for
Tom Minnell, but Minnell was a little bit further back than his full partner was looking for.
I think Beeston will still feel that once they get settled, I mean, they have to accept that they've played a very well disciplined Reading today, but they do still have 13 points, which is up that league a little bit, isn't it? And they need to settle into the next games, really, and pick up a couple of quick wins.
Yes, I've got to say that the more that this bottom 6 concertinas, the more risk there is for all the teams.
Yes.
Because you could end up in the final 8, or you could end up in the bottom 4. And there's a chance popping up. And that is a penalty corner. Griffiths was down on the ground.
Well, I think even though there's only 2 and a bit minutes left on the clock, Andy, I mean, Beeston will be keen to score a goal. They won't want to have not scored in their opening game in this part of the league. It's something that you think about, have we scored, why haven't we scored? Starts to prey on your mind a little bit, really, so this could do with going in.
Just trying to see what Griffiths did there. I think he brought the ball under his control. Did he find a foot?
I think he did, yeah, or it bounced up off the Reading stick. I couldn't quite see from there, but
well engineered. So we're anticipating Rawlings with a thunderbolt, but 2 minutes to play. If this goes in, I don't think it's going to change the outcome of the game.
I don't think it is, no.
But
I think
it'll be a confidence booster for Beeston.
Definitely, yeah. I think you need to know that you've scored, and then you can take that bit forward. There's little positives all over games, really, and that's one of them. Putting it in the net would be a bit of a help.
Reading very professional, taking a little bit longer than anticipated to put the protective gear on. They're all set to go. Beeston ready to attack. What's the delivery going to be like? It's a quick one to the top of the circle. Croft decides to batter it, and there is a Beeston goal, and Reading are furious that they've conceded.
Yes, yeah. And again, as we're saying, a little moment, a little plus moment for Beeston, putting the ball in the net. Get your goal tally going a bit.
Look at the strength and the power as well. And that's the first time that Wyver has been in the right place. He was the wrong side of the goal entirely for that.
Beautifully hit from Henry Croft. He does have a lot of power in his shot. He's not been given too many opportunities today.
And this is the sort of Beeston performance that we were looking for 60 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
Yeah, as I mentioned, it's not going to change the outcome of the result. I'm not going to do a TV job on this one and say, can they possibly pull this out the back? No,
it's not
I really
happen,
don't think they can. But it is they've proved a point. They can score.
Yes,
there is coherence. And it's another chance here, and this is a second for Henry Croft. Can they do it? I'll go full telly. Can they do it? Can they do it?
I'll tell you what's disappointing about this, though, is that they've got to 3-2 with no time left. But a lovely
Reading
finish.
are back underway.
stolen.
Oh,
there.
my word.
Stolen by Henry Croft, and that's, you see, this is going to see the timeout now, but almost more disappointed by the fact they scored twice with no time left on the clock.
This is one of those occasions where you wish there was more game.
Yes.
Because I think the balance has very firmly gone the way of the home side.
Yes.
And there is one more throw of the dice with
He's
10
got to
seconds.
throw that a long way, or pass it a long way. That's got to go.
That is the
That's
final
it.
whistle.
Well, there you go. Well, there's
Well.
the comeback, but wrong time of the game. It was not enough space to see that as a full comeback.
I've got to say, we've seen goals very quickly in succession for Reading from Michael Chapman and Ben Hooper, and also almost even sooner still the 2 strikes from Henry Croft.
Yes, yeah.
It's almost difficult to process.
That's right.
And also the scoreline looks transformed because 3-0 was a true reflection of the game. 3-2
Yes, yeah.
doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, I think credit to Reading in the majority of the game, Andy. They were quite disciplined. Defensively, they were very strong, and that's stifled Beeston's attack play. But the 2 goals from Henry Croft, excellently taken.
Would you say that Reading switched off, do you think, or because they thought the game was won?
I think they felt fairly comfortable with where they were in the game, and they've dropped back a little bit. And obviously, you can always expect something like that from Henry Croft, but just left it too late. Beeston's comeback was too late.
Well, what a day we've had in front of the cameras here at Nottingham Hockey Centre on BTV. What we will give you is a quick précis of the 2 games that we've seen. It's been a win for Beeston ladies earlier on. They're beating University of Birmingham by 1-0. And I'm looking for my little slide here that says next time on BTV. There we go. And that was a good win for Beeston. Stop the rot. They were looking for their first win since since September, and they have achieved it, which is great.
That's right.
Reading looked excellent for about 68 minutes.
Yes, that's right.
And then the roof came in, and Beeston looked brilliant for 2 minutes. And this doesn't. That's what the scoreline shows you.
Yeah.
But I can't quite sum it up. It was a remarkable end to the game. But
yes, it was. I think that the quality from Reading in defence in the majority of the game was a big feature. It looks like it's taken that amount of match play for Beeston to get going, which is far too long.
And I think analysis will be long and hard on that one.
Yeah.
So Reading home next week against University of Nottingham. That one at 6 o'clock. Beeston travel to East Grinstead at exactly the same time. I'm sure as a Bees fan, if you want to watch that one, I'm sure you can watch that on East Grinstead hockey. So if you can do that, because we're not on. When are we on next? We're back on Saturday the 24th of February 2024 to bring you 2 fixtures at the same time as we are this week. Oh, look at that. It's on the telly. Look at it. Wonderful. It's almost like we'd rehearsed this. Beeston Wimbledon in the Women's Premier Division. That's the match at 4 o'clock, followed at 6 p.m. by Cardiff and Met. I think it's their debut visit on BTV for us, so it's been good to meet up with the folks from Cardiff and Met in it's more than a fortnight, isn't it? It is a fortnight. Okay. Yes, of course, 14 plus 10.
Yeah.
This is why I got the C in GCSE maths. But yeah, there's the summary of the match. Beeston Reading 2-3, 3 points to Reading, and those 2 final strikes by Henry Croft. I think he was trying to destroy the backboard.
Yes.
Final words from you, Mus?
Yeah, entertaining in its way, and again, as I said, I give credit to Reading for sorting that out. Good disciplined performance from them has given them the 3 points. And Beeston took a long time to get going, and they'll be looking at that video quite a lot this week, I think, in terms of how they can build those attacks up in a more quality way. But maybe that's the start that they needed, a kick up the backside to get going in the remainder of their fixtures.
Thank you, Mus. It's been a pleasure keeping you company wherever you are in the world today. I've been Andy Day and will continue to be so for some time. From all of us behind the scenes, thank you for watching. And to mark on the record, many happy returns to Josh Robinson, who was 30 today, and he's decided to be here with us rather than larging it up in one of Nottingham's exciting nightclubs. He's here in the chapel instead. Good on him, Josh. And enjoy to the next 30 years. That's it from us on BTV. As I mentioned, we'll be back in a fortnight. Wimbledon in the Women's Premier Division, Cardiff and Met are the opponents in the Men's Premier Division. And from all of us, have a safe evening, whatever you're up to. Cheerio from BTV.
Bye.